Turner lifts a fly ball to left field and deep. Back towards the wall and gone. It's a new game on Turner's first home run.
And the hospitals, he wasn't able to, but the kids did it for him.
There's a high fly ball to deep left field, and Justin Turner has hit it out. Turner hits another one to deep left field. He has doubled his home run total tonight.
More dew and straws.
Wow.
Justin Turner back to the Dodgers. Per source from Ken Rosenthal, is a 2-year deal for $34 million with a club option for a third season. Includes an $8 million signing bonus. Justin Turner is going back to L.A. Luxury tax. Forget about it. Bringing him back. Is this it? I mean, do we even need to play out the 2021 season at this point? Dodgers fans, you got to feel pretty hyped about this one. I mean, do we just give them the title? Like, are they inscripting it right now? 2021 champion Dodgers. Listen, I know you got to get through the season. You could always have injuries. Things could happen, and it completely could change the landscape. But on paper, this Dodgers team is going to just cruise. And I partially blame the San Diego Padres for this. Okay? You had to get all fancy with your trades and go and get all those players. You had to get Darvish, and you had to get Snell, and you had to make Fernando Tatis Jr. one of the best young players, and then you had to go and get Kim from the K. I mean, just come on, guys. You're partly to blame for this. The Dodgers, in all seriousness, this is going to be just a fun National League West to watch. Justin Turner is going to do some good things there. Let's take a look. We have looked at it before, but let's look at it one more time. His projection for the 2021 season: 74 runs, 21 homers, 65 RBI, 3 steals, a slash line of 294, 384, 501. That is from the guys over at the baseballhq.com. Their forecaster. I trust him. I think we got at least one more good Justin Turner season to be had. Maybe 2. He's going to be 36 years old this year. So Father Time is going to, start checking in on Justin Turner here soon. But that is the news. Justin Turner is back. Dodger fans, you can feel good about this. I know a lot of Dodger fans, I have been out there thinking that Bauer thing was probably going to be it for Turner. I was wrong. I will admit that. I was wrong. I felt that just that money is too much. Now, Kyle is feeling pretty good that there could be a trade to dump some salary. Maybe David Price is on the move. I think that is a very real possibility. The problem is, where's David Price going to go? Maybe the Dodgers are holding out hope that David Price opts out again and they don't have to pay him. But David Price, I mean, the Dodgers were only on the hook for $16 million, but still, you could get some money back, right? Get that $16 million that you're taxed on less. So maybe that happens. I don't know. But the Blue Jays, I think before the Steven Matz deal, the Blue Jays could have been a fit for David Price. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use some pitching, but where does that go ultimately? Where does that go? We're going to have to wait and see. But we got Justin Turner on his way, 2 years, $34 million. I haven't seen anybody in the chat room maybe who has seen, because we are live tonight. Welcome in, everybody. It's been a few minutes. I haven't welcomed you in, but I do want to welcome everybody in. Kyle and Jason and MLB Joey and Rob and La Savage Gamer, Tatis Acuna Jr., let's see, Kevin Dodgers. I see a lot of you guys in here. Ben, Midwest Sports. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to be talking Dodgers. We're talking about James Paxton in just a minute, and we'll dive into what does that mean for the Blue Jays next. So, but this Turner thing, I got to think, again, anybody that is live with me, has anybody heard about what the breakdown is? What's the annual on this thing? What's the yearly figure for Justin Turner? All we know is the $34 million for 2 years and an option for a third. And Kyle is saying that the Brewers made a similar offer. Of course, he's going to go back to LA, though, right? I mean, if he's going to get the same offer from the Brewers, same offer from the Dodgers, he's going to go back to the Dodgers, right? They're going to the Dodgers are going to the World Series. Okay, can anybody disagree with that? Injuries can happen. Things can happen. You got to play the season out, but they have so much depth now with the rotation, with the bullpen, with the lineup. It's incredible. You got the $8 million signing bonus. So this is a big one for the Dodgers. They get their man. They get Justin Turner back, and he wanted a 4-year deal. That was reported a few weeks ago. He takes 2, which with the option for a 3rd, right? Like we talked about that. It was negotiation. He wasn't going to get 4 from anybody. But if you want 2, you ask for 4. And he gets his thing. So Dodgers are going to be just cruising. Again, I think we can partially blame some of this on the Padres. Got all fancy with their moves a couple months ago, and now the Dodgers have basically just checked in and put the Padres in their place. I mean, it's still going to be fun. That NL West is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Dodgers and Padres will go at it all year long. But, I mean, the Dodgers have the edge here. And Justin Turner, again, if Turner's got the Dodgers or the Brewers to choose from, he's going to go to the Dodgers every day. That's his home, right? He's been there forever. He's won the World Series there. The Dodgers are the likely champs of this thing. So, yeah, it's going to happen. So the other move, though, again, we will come back and talk about Justin Turner, Dodgers fans that are in here. This is a West Coast stream tonight. It is 11:19 on the East Coast, 3 hours earlier out West, and we're talking about the Dodgers and we're talking about the Mariners because the other move is the James Paxton going back to the Mariners piece. He goes back to the Mariners, gets a pretty sweet deal. It's a 1-year deal, which everybody knew that was going to be a 1-year deal. $8.5 million and some bonuses that could take him to 10. Now, word was that he wanted 11. So with some reachable bonuses, probably, we'll see what those are. It could be as simple as, 20 starts or an ERA under 5 or something like that, right? We'll see how easy they're to get to. James Paxton gets his money, and it's a 1-year deal. Good move for Seattle. Seattle could deal him. Let's say James Paxton returns to the James Paxton from 2019. Seattle's going to trade that. Seattle will trade him and get something. So Blue Jay fans that were hoping for James Paxton, this might not be it. This might not be it for James Paxton. Jays may have to trade for James Paxton at the deadline. We got to see, James Paxton all of a sudden didn't make any sense anymore after the Steven Matz trade. Because then potentially you have 4 left-handed starting pitchers. That's not going to happen. 4 lefty starters plus Nate Pearson. That never would happen. That's just not going to go. So the Paxton thing, he's on his way. Again, maybe they can deal for him at the trading deadline if he's pitching well and if they can get him for not a whole lot. I got to think if you're trading for James Paxton in July and you're only going to get him for a couple months. They can probably get James Paxton for not even a top 25 prospect, a top 30 prospect at that point. So it's good. This whole James Paxton, it's good. It didn't make sense right now. So we're all good. Hit that like, everybody that is in the room. Hit the like if you're down with the West Coast stream tonight. It's late. We're on talking Dodgers. We're talking Mariners. We're talking Blue Jays. That is going to really be the focus tonight. So Dodgers fans, Mariners fans, Blue Jays fans, hit that like. We are going to talk about it. We will talk about Jake Odorizzi in a few for sure. Midwest Sports. I am planning to talk about Odorizzi. So make sure you hit that like. Let's get this like count up as high as we can. We got to talk about a bunch of stuff here. The Justin Turner thing. The James Paxton thing. What does this mean moving forward? If James Paxton's getting 8 guaranteed and then some incentives on a 1-year deal, what does that mean for Taijuan Walker? Taijuan Walker obviously had a better year than James Paxton last year. Paxton was injured though. So you got to start to think that Paxton's maybe in that range of about $10 million for a year. I'm sorry, Walker. Did I say Paxton? I might have said Paxton. Walker could be about $10 million for a year. And you've got Jake Odorizzi who's out there. You got to see what Jake Odorizzi wants. The fact that he is still out there and pitchers and catchers are reporting next Thursday, gang, less than a week. Pitchers and catchers reporting. And right now, Jake Odorizzi doesn't have anywhere to report. Kyle, yeah, I think Walker's probably going to be in that $10 million range. And if it's a 1-year deal for $10 million, the Blue Jays, I think they should do that. They're in a position now where, who knows how the negotiations have gone, but it's kind of like in your fantasy draft, whether you play fantasy football or fantasy baseball or hockey or basketball or whatever you play, right? You wait out, right? Let's say you let the top guys at that quarterback or starting pitcher go. You're like, I'm not going to spend the money on that guy. I'm not going to spend the money on that guy. I'm going to let it sit. Well, you get to a certain point where there's only a couple left at that position that are good. You end up in a position where you almost need to overpay. And Toronto's kind of approaching that position. Wardy NYM, Tyler, welcome in. You like Walker back to Toronto, Odorizzi to Boston, Hendricks Gray to Queens. Like that trade to maybe happen. We're going to see. That's an interesting. That's a good one. I think the Jays won't Walker. I don't think they're out on Odorizzi. I think Odorizzi is a real possibility. And then a trade. We'll see if the trades happen. I think the Cubs want a lot for Liam Hendricks. Not Liam Hendricks. Liam Hendricks is a closer for the White Sox, right? Kyle Hendricks. I think the White Sox want a lot for Kyle Hendricks. And I think that the Reds want an arm and a leg for Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo at this point. LA Sports, who will the Jays end up with? In my opinion, I think it'll be Taijuan Walker. And I think they have a shot at Jake Odorizzi. Look, they're spending $18 million on a 1-year deal for Marcus Semien. Are they going to waste that? Okay, if you make that move, that means you're telling your fan base, that means you're telling the rest of baseball that you're serious about this season. But it makes you're not serious about the season if you go into 2021 with that rotation. Sorry, you need more. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, yes, MLB Joey, something going on. In other words, I have no idea what's going on about anything about that MLB Joey. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Wardy feels like inevitable that a trade package gets done for the Mets if they prioritize Paxton. Yeah, right. I saw that too. The word was that the Mets were in on Paxton, which is interesting to me. I mean, listen, if Paxton is available for the right price for anybody, I guess they're going to be in on him. But I don't know. I guess I'm just, quite frankly, I'm not seeing the Paxton fit with the Mets. I just don't see it. But I'm sure it's there. Mets fans might be able to explain that to me. I think there's other places for James Paxton. I wish Paxton signed with the Blue Jays. I'm with you, Dan. We were in that boat until that Matz trade happened. Once Matz came along, there's too many lefties. Paxton would have made way too many lefties in that rotation. Just wasn't going to happen. Right. I feel like the Mets are good on starters. Getting Paxton is just too much. It'd be like slow down, guys. I understand if they want to go and upgrade and get some guaranteed beef in that rotation with Sonny Gray or Kyle Hendricks or something like that. I don't understand Paxton. You got DeGrom, Stroman, Carrasco. I guess maybe you're figuring that until Thor comes back, Paxton's in. I don't know. It's better to have more than less. I do agree. I do get that. I totally get that. It's better to have more than less. You've got DeGrom, Stroman, Carrasco. Those three are locks. And then when Thor comes back, there's number 4. And then you've got Peterson, Lucchesi, Yamamoto, who can all, work for that extra spot in the rotation. On top of that, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Isn't there somebody else? Did I mention Peterson? There's just so many options there. So I feel like the Mets are, good. Again, if they can get it at the right price, if they could get Paxton at the right price, I could see it. MLB Joey. Is that the wish list? What do you think? What's your thinking there with that whole thing? What are you talking about? Did Turner sign? Turner did sign. Turner is back to LA. T-Food Sports, thoughts on price to the Jays? I don't like it. And it has nothing to do with his salary. It has nothing to do with his performance. It's the fact that he's a left-handed pitcher. And the Blue Jays right now have 3 left-handed starters. It's too much. Anthony Kay and Ryan Baraki, if they had any hopes of cracking the rotation this year, it ain't going to happen. The Yankees have an all right-handed lineup, and the Yankees are the team that the Blue Jays are going to have to get over to try to get that American League East. And you tell me you're going to enter into a season where you have a terrible matchup with the one team you need to get over on? I don't like it. So I don't think that there's any more lefties coming to Toronto. I just don't see that happening. From best to worst to acquire. Okay. Give me lights out. I say the best arm you can get. Totally. Thoughts on Melanson to the Padres? It completes their team. They needed a closer. I don't think they wanted to go in with Pagan and Pomeranz as the closers, have them do what they did for most of last year and get a guy who specializes in closing. Melanson to the Padres was the right move and completes their team. The Padres now have a complete team from top to bottom, front to back. The Padres are going to be there. They are going to be there. And they are partially to blame for this Dodgers situation now. We'll go ahead and poke the bear. Basically what the Padres did. And the bear bit back. We say bye, Blue Jays fans. We say bye to Shun Yamaguchi. In this past week, we say goodbye to Derek Fisher. Some DFA moves going on there. We welcome Joe Panic back. We welcome in some new additions there. I mean, it's a good time. I mean, who you gotta like the bullpen right now, right? The bullpen for Toronto is gonna be one of the best bullpens in baseball. David Phelps coming on board really, I think, completes the bullpen. The Jays have done a great job building that bullpen up. Now we need another starter, right? The bullpen is going to be great. Bullpen is going to be lights out. You got to do that. Benjamin, what do you think the Mets will do? I think the Mets are either trade or nothing at this point. I think the Mets make a trade or they just hang tight with what they've got and maybe they make a trade in season because talked about it yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. I don't remember about trade possibilities for a lot of guys that are out there. I think the Cubs are entering the point of the offseason where they're not getting what they want for Chris Bryant. So they're going to hang tight. I think the Cubs start the season and the Mets can almost call the Cubs bluff with the Chris Bryant situation because let's say we get into June and the Cubs are terrible. Then the Cubs get a little bit more desperate to trade Chris Bryant. The Mets can come back to the table and say, how about our offer now? Right. I think the Mets are going to try to call their bluff, which means they're probably not going to get Chris Bryant now. The Reds, the problem with the Reds is they have they wanted to shed money. That's why they got rid of Raisel Iglesias. And when that move happened, it looked like, okay, everyone's going. Suarez was on the trade block. Gray was on the trade block. Castillo was on the trade block. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we want Gleyber Torres for Luis Castillo. And everyone's like, whoa, wait a minute. So wait, the Blue Jays are going to have to give up Bo Bichette? No, I don't think so. So that whole situation with the Reds really changed. So I don't think the Reds are not in any hurry because those three, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, and Eugenio Suarez are all on very nice deals. It's basically $10 million for the next 4 or 5 years for Suarez, $10 million for the next 3 years for Gray, and then and Castillo is just entering arbitration. So they've got control. So for that reason, the Reds players, if that trade is going to happen, that I think is also going to be in season because the Reds want to probably at this point want to see how it plays out with what they got. So I think the Reds hold on to what they've got. And if someone's going to get traded from the Reds, it will be Sonny Gray. I think they're going to hold on to Castillo. They will hold on to Suarez, and it'll probably be Sonny Gray that gets dealt, and they build the rotation back around Luis Castillo. That situation in the Central, don't you just feel like it kind of changes from year to year, right? I feel like it just kind of from year to year, there's a different team that kind of pops up. The Reds tried to be that team the last couple of years. The Brewers kind of pop up. Cubs are a mainstay. The Cardinals are a mainstay, but there's always just it feels like the Central is kind of up for grabs based on whoever does best during free agency that year. And that's why I think the Reds hold on because the Reds next year, 2022 could be right back in it. And if they are, they're going to need Suarez. They're going to need Castillo. So that's everything. Everybody that is here, hit that like if you're all about some late night Saturday stream action. It's a West Coast stream because we got West Coast news with Justin Turner going back to the Dodgers, James Paxton going back to the Mariners, impacting what the Blue Jays might do next. The Dodgers are, again, I think they're engraving the World Series trophy right now. Like, they're getting the template ready at least, because it is going to be something. Benjamin, do you think the Mets will re-sign Wilson and get Rosenthal since Lugo is out? I don't think they're going to do the Rosenthal thing. There's too many teams that need a closer for Rosenthal to go somewhere where he might not have the gig, because they'll start the season with Diaz as the closer. Rosenthal's going to want to go. So I don't think the Jays are going to be in the market for Rosenthal. Rosenthal's going to want to go be a closer somewhere. He had to work his behind off to get back to being a closer. His career was over, it looked like. He's not going to take a step back. And if he does, he's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. So that's my thing on Rosenthal. I think Rosenthal, there are still teams that need closers. The Braves need a closer. Why wouldn't Rosenthal go close out games for the Braves? I mean, I think that's a real possibility. I think he goes somewhere where there's a closer. I think that the Wilson deal, Wilson could be a Mets move for sure. Get that lefty arm. You know, they were hoping to get the lefty arm with hand. They didn't get it. This could be that move. Welcome back in, Tyler. Hello again. Rosenthal to Seattle. Seattle, this James Paxton thing is kind of surprising. Why is Seattle doing this? What do they have to gain? Like, Paxton maybe just wanted to go back there. The Mariners are going to be not good. I will say this. I mentioned it earlier. He could be a trade piece. If he is pitching well, if he is pitching like 2019 James Paxton, he could probably get something of quality back at the trading deadline, because this is a one-year deal. You're not good getting back in bed with James Paxton to make a run in the American League West over the next 4 years. That's not going to happen. Phil wondering, Phil, welcome in, Phil, a member. Jays trade for Price? I don't think so. We were talking about that earlier. Too many lefties in that rotation. Think about it. It is already, you got 3 lefties right now with Ryu, Ray, and Matz. You can't add a 4th. You just can't. And I really think Matz, for Matz to succeed, to put him in position to succeed, I think he's got to be a starter. So you've got a situation where you have 3 left-handed starters right now. Plus you got Kay and Baraki, who have aspirations to be starters at some time, who are going to be in the bullpen. So I don't see that happening. I don't see that. I don't see a Price trade happening for that reason. It's too many lefties. And the one team that they need to get over in 2021 to win that American League East is going to be the Yankees. And the Yankees are all righties. That lineup, they don't have a lefty. They have one switch hitter, Aaron Hicks. Everybody else is a righty. Be a terrible matchup. The Jays can't put themselves in position to have an awful matchup against the one team in that division that they have to take serious. Marquez from the Rockies would love it. Would love that. Marquez is making some, he's on a favorable contract this year and next kind of, and then after that it escalates a little bit. But you know what? If Marquez is good and can establish himself as a top of the rotation guy for Toronto, would be a wonderful move. He could be your guy as Ryu maybe fades out. Who knows? You could have Marquez and Pearson. Marquez could be a nice target. Kyle, yes, that bullpen is looking nice. That bullpen is looking good. Let's see. The O's are filled with 2015 aces. I know, right? Matt Harvey joining King Felix. Didn't those two start against each other in an all-star game back in like 2014 or 15 or something like that? I don't know if that's right, but yes, your point well taken there. Let's take a look and see what is the latest on Jake Odorizzi, because that's the next, right? That's the next shoe to drop, is what's happening there. Is anybody? I'm going to check this out. Feel like it changes. We don't have anything. It has been quiet on Jake Odorizzi for a while. The last reports out were that he was looking for about a 3-year deal. Only $45 million was the number. The Giants had shown some interest. The Cardinals had shown some interest. Basically, any team that's in the mix showing interest in Jake Odorizzi. The Blue Jays should be showing interest. You wonder if has anybody heard anything on we saw what the Brewers had offered Justin Turner, right? Did anybody know if the Blue Jays had offered Paxton anything, or were they just out? That's my question. If you see something, say something. Fire it at me on Twitter. Don't just drop it in the chat because anybody can say anything in the chat. So fire it to my Twitter handle. If you see something, send it to me on Twitter at Jim Riley Live. If you follow me during the live stream, I'll follow you back. But let me know if you see something. Jays didn't offer anything. Okay. So the Jays were not in on a Paxton situation. All right. I get that. That makes sense. Again, I mean, looking at where the team is now after that Matz deal, makes sense. So this is going to be, it's really, I mean, Jays fans. Talking to the Jays fans for a minute. We got Ryu, Pearson, Ray, and I'm pausing. Roark, Thornton, Chatwood, and Matz. Matz is in there, guys. Right now it is Ryu, Pearson, Roark, Ray, and Matz. That's the deal. I hope my silence speaks for me there. Anyway, we bring back Shoemaker. I don't think so, Hassan. I don't think so. I just want him to make the right move. Spend the money. Let's get Jake Odorizzi over here. A 3-year deal. Maybe they don't want to do the 3-year deal. I get that, but I mean, what are they hoping for? Are they hoping to make a splash in the trade market during the season? I mean, this lineup, they have invested so much money in this lineup now. You can't run that rotation out there, in my opinion. You cannot run that rotation out there. Exactly. RJF, what is that? That is 17. That is not a playoff rotation. The Jays need 1-2 starting pitchers. I'm with you. But here's the other important part about this. So that rotation, we don't love that rotation, right? No Blue Jay fan likes this rotation. What if somebody gets hurt? What if Ryu, that injury bug, strikes back up for Hyunjin Ryu? And now Nate Pearson all of a sudden has to shoulder the load. Or Nate Pearson's getting close to that innings limit, which no one's talking about it, but we all know Nate Pearson's going to be on an innings limit in 2021. So you're in a situation where if Ryu gets hurt and Pearson is on an innings limit, we could get into crunch time, September baseball, and have this: Roark, Ray, Thornton, Chatwood, and Matz. I do not mean to bring Blue Jay fans down. I'm just further getting my point across that they have to do something for the depth of this rotation. I don't want to have crunch time baseball and be leaning on Anthony Kay or Julian Merriweather or Ross. I mean, well, I take that back. Ross Stripling, I think, could give us some clutch innings. Let's get some Ross Stripling love going. I think Ross Stripling could give us some clutch innings. But I don't want to have Barucki I don't want the kids. I don't want the young pitchers to just do something. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm going to swing this around eventually. We're going to talk good stuff here in a minute. I promise. We need something. Taijuan Walker would be great. Now listen, at the end of the day, we're talking Taijuan Walker here, right? Like, we're not talking about a Cy Young candidate. We're not talking about, somebody who's going to be a number one in this rotation. But the way he pitched last year with Toronto is extremely encouraging. And he gives this team, it's just too much of a fit. Maybe Jake Odorizzi, maybe they don't want to go the years on that. And okay, you can sell me on that if you're the Blue Jays front office. If Jake Odorizzi's asking for that much money, we're looking at, 3 years and what was the number? The number's now missing from my screen. 3 years and $45 million. they go trade for Sonny Gray in season and have a better deal. That's the deal. You could go, you pass on Jake. If you wanted Jake Odorizzi or Sonny Gray, I think you'd want Sonny Gray. They could go make that trade in season potentially. I mean, there's a lot of conversations that are happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of, right? They may have talked to the Reds about Sonny Gray, and the Reds have said, check back with us in June. So they may have that plan. I hope they have that plan, because it is just a absolute, just insane. Yes, every pitcher will be on an innings limit thanks to the shortened season. I agree with you. I mean, Pearson is going to be on an innings limit. Merriweather will be on an innings limit. K, maybe not. Barucki, maybe not. But right, the young guys are all going to be on innings limits. Mets or Jays? What's the question, Jack? Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see. I'm not sure what you're thinking. I'm not sure what that is a question about. My concern with Sonny Gray was his numbers when he pitched for the Yankees. Here's the thing. His arsenal, how he pitches, didn't fit the Yankee system. Didn't work. So what's great about Sonny Gray coming to Toronto is that he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to want to beat the Yankees and show the Yankees that he is not the guy that was there. He's the guy who went back to Cincinnati and was pitching in Oakland. So Sonny Gray with Toronto, hype. There would be some hype around that. He would be great. Who is better? Well, right now it's probably the Mets because of that pitching rotation. I wish I could say the Blue Jays. It's very close. It's very close. But the Mets rotation is better. You got Carrasco. You've got DeGrom. You got Syndergaard coming back with, we've seen what he can be. Does he get back to that? It is very close, but I would give the Mets a very slight edge at this point. I hate to say that. That's why the bullpen is so important. I do think the Blue Jays have a better bullpen. Blue Jays have a better bullpen than the Mets. Thor is a free agent next year. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, he's going to be motivated. What that tells me about Noah Syndergaard is he's going to be motivated to be great, to get a contract, to show teams that he is on and he is good. Everybody that is just hanging out here in the chat, hit the like if you're feeling this. Let's get this thing up. I think we're chilling at, what are we chilling at? Like 30 likes right now. Hit that like. Let's get this thing up above 50. Everybody that is in the chat, we got 130 plus in the chat. We need a handful of you. Let's get this thing to 50 in the next minute or two. Abraham, welcome in. And if you're just finding the channel for the first time tonight, it's a late one on the East Coast, where it's a West Coast stream, basically, because of the West Coast moves. Subscribe. Come on. Join Ballcap Nation. Join this community that we are trying to build. I know I see -2 dislikes. I have no clue. It's a good question. We are 2 likes. We are there. We are at 50 likes. Thank you, guys. We are at 50. We will make another push in a little bit, but thank you guys for getting us to 50. We want to keep that thing going. We're at -1. Who hit the dislike? Let's see here. We got a Yankee fan in here. I'm kidding. We actually do have Yankee fans. This is a safe place for everybody. This is a safe place for everybody. Back to 0. All right. That's fine. Sometimes people don't like when I ask for likes, so they'll dislike because they don't like that I ask for likes. So I apologize if you fall in that category. What about Madison Bumgarner? I wouldn't want him. I don't think anybody wants Madison Bumgarner until Mad Bum shows that he's got it together over there in Arizona. There's no way that, again, if we're thinking about Toronto again, it's too many lefties. Too many lefties. I don't even think the Jays bullpen is a sleeper bullpen. Maybe to other teams around the league, they wouldn't be thinking about it, but the Blue Jays bullpen is legit. That Blue Jays bullpen is going to be top-notch. They're going to be tough. I love the bullpen, and you need to have that, right? That is a crucial component to getting this thing going. If we don't like the rotation, at least we like the bullpen. That is important. And we got guys that can stretch games out. Let's say Roark gets bombed or Chatwood gets bombed. Okay. Well, we got Julian Merriweather that can go out there and fire 3 innings. We got Barucki and Stripling and Hatch. We got guys that can pitch long innings out of that bullpen. I think that's going to be a big part. Now, I don't want to rely on that. Certainly don't want to rely on that. Let's see. I did see, so Rocky, a couple others sending me the tweet from Scott Mitchell. When you read, I don't know if anybody can see the buzzing light, but I have a light bulb that's about to go. Does that mean maybe those are the baseball gods telling us that there's a move coming? If a move happens in the next 5 minutes, that there you go. Just so you know. Scott Mitchell with the tweet. When you read the tea leaves over the past few days, looking at some of the players Blue Jays have checked in on, and then some prices, there is a very real chance they're tapped out budget-wise. If they're going to add, it's likely a free agent at their price point or a trade. That is coming from Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell, you're not making me feel any better. I would hate for them to be done. I would hate for them to be done because, again, they spent so much. They spent that money on it. They waste the money on Semien. If that's the case, they waste the money on Marcus Semien. They should have spent that money on a pitcher. If I had to choose between Marcus Semien and a top-notch pitcher, I might go with a top pitcher. That's just my feeling because we've got the lineup straight. Yes, let's get a big move. Let's get something going on. Let's make something happen here. I want to see this. Let's see. Phil, Toronto Blue Jays maintained regular contact with the Paxton camp, but never offered a deal. So too bad on the Paxton front. But again, it is what it is. He didn't make sense. He just didn't make sense. Let's ask this question. Everybody, Jays fans that are in the chat room, who would you rather have, Steven Matz or James Paxton? For me, it would be Paxton. But you guys, comment in the chat. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have had Paxton, or are you happy with Matz? Matz or Paxton? Comment in the chat and let me know. World Traveler, welcome in, my friend. Want to know. Let's see. And anybody, hey, did you guys see who the guests are? Did you see who the guests are for the ball cap nightcap on Tuesday? It's legit. It is some good stuff. Izzy Rendell, who does maybe the best jersey swaps, baseball jersey swaps. If you've seen, if you've seen any jersey swaps lately, it's probably her stuff. It's actually some really great work that she's done. She is going to be on, and I think you guys are going to love her. And then we'll be taking a look at some of her work. And Robbie Hyde is going to be joining as well. We are going to do an AL over under. We're going to dive into that American League and spend some time on that on Tuesday. So the Tuesday night live nightcap is going to be on fire. So make sure you guys set a reminder for that. It's going to be awesome. Ernie Paxton went to Seattle. Jays never made an offer. Do I think Semien is overrated, Benjamin? I do not. I do not think he's overrated. I think he's going to have a very, very nice season. I just worry. I mean, they could score a ton of runs, but if they're giving up a ton of runs, I mean, look at what the Mets did last year. Mets fans that are in the house, you guys know what I'm talking about. The Mets had the third highest OPS in 2020, but they also had a team ERA of 5, and they missed the playoffs. With the third highest OPS, you can hit the ball all over the place, but if you can't pitch, it's a problem. And that's what I'm worried the Blue Jays are in right now. This light is going absolutely insane. I don't know if you can see it flickering. Something's happening. Something's happening. What is it going to be? What is going to happen? We only have 61 likes because I haven't been asking for them. I asked for some likes and got a couple dislikes, so I'm just being quiet about it now. So if you want to like, please like. I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't want to like it, that is perfectly fine. I have no issue. But if you want to like, that would be great. If you don't, again, do you? Corbin Burns, I don't think Corbin Burns is available. Brewers are going to try to win. So, they made the same offer for Justin Turner that the Dodgers did. So the Brewers aren't going to be getting rid of Corbin Burns. I know we had -2 and now we're up to 1. So, that's, I asked for likes and I got, I guess, maybe 3 dislikes. I don't know. We're at 69 likes, the magic number, 72. All right. Odorizzi might be an option. So I feel like the expensive guys, like Jake Odorizzi, we're hearing 3 for 45. We're talking, maybe Walker, if this Paxton deal is any indicator, maybe Walker wants about 10. How do the Blue Jays not have 10 million to scrape together? They've got to. And I think you let one of the kids fight for the fifth spot. Tej, that's not a bad call. But here's the thing. And I think Aaron Sanchez is going to probably be out of the league. That would be fine if this team wasn't making all the moves and all the noise that made you think that we're going for it. We want to win the American League East. I don't want a bunch of kids that could be on, pitching limits, that you could be putting a lot more on their shoulders, a lot more stress than they're prepared for. And then you end up, they're overthrowing, they're trying too hard. And then next thing you know, they're out for 2022. 2022 is going to be a big season for the Blue Jays. This is going to be a fun year too. But 2022 is when we start, as Blue Jay fans, 2022 Blue Jays fans, we are waiting for the World Series. Like, it's time to start setting our sights on the Dodgers in 2022. Not to have a team like the Dodgers, I'm not saying that, but to be able to get to them. Ernie, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. Mets fan becoming friend. Hey, we support the Mets. I like to think, guys, that this is a safe place for all fans, everybody. Royals fans were not happy with me the other day because I didn't love the Benintendi trade. I am sorry. Andrew Benintendi has killed me in fantasy baseball. He killed me in 2019, and he was bad last year, and there's some metrics that aren't great. I know he's young and he could bounce back, but anyway, Royals fans are mad at me. It's okay. Royals fans, I love Whit Merrifield. Okay, I'll say that. I just pulled a Whit Merrifield autograph from Topps 2021 Series 1. I got a Whit autograph and I loved it. So Royals fans, you can be here too. This is a safe place for everybody, I like to think. First year of expectations for Jays, but not too high. I mean, this year, 2020 was a surprise, right? To have the winning record. I think if they had played a full 162, they would have been fighting for a wild card spot. So 2020 was a nice surprise. This is a year where it's like, okay, can we start to be, will the league take us seriously in 2021? And then 2022, again, the expectations are going to be championship level. You have to do it with this core, with these guys before they're outpriced and we can't sign everybody and bring everybody back. Jay's got to do it. There's actually a window that could close up real quick if these guys are going to be cheap. And when you got Kevin and Bo and Vladdy and Gurriel and Pearson all needing money, they're not all going to get their money. Now, that's a few years away. Let's not worry about that. Let's see here. Do you think the Jays will re-sign Walker Easton? I'm rooting for it. I think he might be the only. We had the tweet from, who was it now? I'm missing it. We had the tweet from Scott Mitchell, right? Scott Mitchell saying that, reading the tea leaves, it looks like the players the Blue Jays have checked in on and some of the prices, they're not making offers, that the Jays might be tapped out budget-wise, and if they're going to add, it would be a free agent at their price point. Is Taijuan Walker at their price point is the question, Maybe the whole reason why there's no Walker deal done is they keep checking in on some of the higher-priced guys. Well, now the higher-priced guys are kind of coming off the board. So it's time to move. It's time to do something. And again, remember, everybody, if you see something, the light's been flickering, so I feel like something's going to happen. So if you see something, you got to send it to me on Twitter. Anybody can say anything in the chat room. Need it on Twitter. Would I rather sign Walker or Odorizzi? Well, if Odorizzi wants 3 and we could get Walker for 1, I would probably rather just do Walker for 1 or 2. I don't know if I want to do Jake Odorizzi for 3 years. Jake Odorizzi has been kind of up and down. I know lately a little bit better. But I think I would probably rather have Walker on a shorter deal than Odorizzi on a longer deal, and maybe that's part of the thing, right? Jake Odorizzi has a career ERA of 3.92, right? It's not elite. He's good, but he's not elite. Only once in his career has he finished with an ERA under 3.5. So he's good, but if he's asking for too much money and the Jays are looking at that, they might be like, we'll pass. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to go back through the chat. Groshans, one mid-level guy for Sonny Gray. If they could get it done, I would do that, Raul. I would do that. Groshans and a mid-level guy for Sonny Gray. If the Reds would do that, I don't know if the Reds would do that. I don't think the Reds would do that now. I think the Reds might do that in season. That's the thing. We're at the point now where I think any of those big trades might not happen. Pitchers and catchers report in a week. Teams at this point, if they haven't sold yet, they might be holding in. They might wait. Let's see. Was I a Jays fan in the early 90s when they won? Yes, I was. I was, James. I was young, but I was into it. They were my favorite team back then. And they were my favorite team before the World Series. So I was a fan before it was cool. Odorizzi reminds me of Tanner Roark. We don't want to go down that road, right? Tanner Roark has had some nice seasons. And we don't want to end up in the same situation. So I'm with you on that. That's why I would probably rather have Walker on like a 1-year deal with a mutual option for a second year, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. No way trading Groshans. I know a lot of people want to hold on to Groshans. I understand that. You're going to need another wave of players, right? If you aren't able to re-sign Gurriel, if you need to make a trade and give somebody away, God forbid, Cavan or something like that, like you need to have the next guy there. I get it. I'd like to hold on to Jordan. I'd like to hold on to all of them. I think about when Shapiro showed up. He killed Anthopoulos for trading everybody away for Price and for Tulowitzki. So there's no way Shapiro wants to go through and just trade away the prospects, unless they're going to win the World Series. Which, look at the Dodgers. It's going to be tough to take out the Dodgers. Let's see. Yeah, don't sign over for 3 if you can give a big contract. Right. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. I haven't looked at it lately, so I don't remember. Who are the 2022 MLB free agents? Because I'm wondering who's coming up next year. We know that Syndergaard will be a free agent next year. All right, here are the free agents next year. You've got Zach Greinke. Would you take Greinke on a 1-year deal? Let's see. You've got Verlander, or as some people say, me. I will be a free agent. My doppelganger will be a free agent. Let's see here. Kershaw will be a free agent. Max Scherzer will be a free agent. Let's see here. Looking for just free agent pitchers. Cueto's probably going to be a free agent. There's a $22 million club option, so I think Cueto's probably out at that price. Gausman will be a free agent. I wouldn't care much for Kevin Gausman. And now we're kind of getting into some of the weak. Morton will be a free agent again. Alex Cobb will be a free agent. You're getting into some of the murkier stuff now. Danny Duffy. Tanner Roark will be a free agent next year. Anyway, so there are some. Kluber will be a free agent again. Kluber's going to be pitching for a contract. Carlos Martinez might be a free agent. St. Louis pitcher. He's got a $17 million club option. So Carlos Martinez could be a free agent. Here, you guys. Let me do this real quick. I don't usually like to go shrink super small on this, but since we're looking at it, where is it? Here we go. We'll look at it together. So these are the free agents next year. And we're really just focusing on the pitchers right now. Thinking about, okay, if Toronto is really going to roll with what they've got right now, what are they maybe looking at on the horizon next year is sort of my question. Again, we got Greinke, Verlander, and neither of those guys are coming, right? Neither of those guys are coming. Scherzer, Donato likes Kershaw to retire in Dodger blue. I think they work something out. I really do. I think they work something out. If you want Kershaw to retire as a Dodger, hit that like. We're about 20 likes away from 100. Now, again, just as a preface, if you don't want to hit the like, don't. It's all good. But if you do, if you're enjoying the conversation, if you're enjoying some late night baseball content, hit the like. And again, if you want Kershaw to retire as a Dodger, hit the like. That could happen. I think they figured that out. I think Kershaw stays there. But you have Greinke. I wouldn't want Greinke. Verlander. No, I don't think. I think Verlander will retire. Again, Kershaw, I think they worked that out. Scherzer's very interesting to me. For Blue Jays, sign him on a 1-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal if he's got anything left in the tank and he wants to just go somewhere where he can try to get back into the playoffs. Scherzer could be fun in 2022. That could be very interesting. I would love that. Welcome everybody in. Tyler's still hanging out. Wardy NYM. Baby baseball. Eric, my boys are here. My Hall of Fame roundtable boys are here. Eric and Tyler are both hanging out, enjoying. Thank you guys for being here and chilling with us. We're looking at the free agents for next season, wondering who might go be a serious contender for a Toronto team if Toronto is just going to roll with what they've got. So it's, again, Kershaw, I think, staying. I like Scherzer. Scherzer stands out to me as something that could be fun and exciting. Cueto, again, he'll be gone. Giants are not going to. Eric, is the Giants going to bring back Johnny Cueto at $22 million? Comment in the chat. Let us know. I don't think that's happening. They're spending $18 million on Gosman. I don't see $22 million on Cueto, but maybe I'm wrong. That age, I just don't think so. Stroman's going to be a free agent. That's not happening. Where else we got? Hey, Dodgers fans, you're going to be free of Kenley Jansen next year. Cueto's $22 million. Baby's passing. You heard it here first. Cueto is going to be done. They might try to trade him. Anyway, that seems like Cueto feels like a tradable asset. If the Giants aren't doing it, and so much of that contract has already been paid, and he's a free agent, Cueto just feels like a trade candidate to me. We'll see. But again, Dodgers fans, you will be free of the Kenley Jansen experience at the end of 2021. Hit the like if you're a Dodger fan and you want Kenley Jansen out. Or if you're just excited for that to be done. You got Charlie Morton there, $15 million, but I got to think he's almost done. Wardy with the hot take. Cueto goes back to the Reds once he's an unrestricted free agent. Very well could. Cueto's going to want to hang on and play a little bit longer, right? He's going to be 36. I think he's going to want to play a couple more seasons. Moving on down here, Kikuchi. I don't think that's really worked out in Seattle. Cobb, no, pass. Danny Duffy, pass. Tanner Roark. Again, Blue Jays fans, Tanner Roark. There it is. There's the silver lining. I want Roark, full disclosure. I want Roark to just be great this year, because if he's great, that means wonderful things for the Blue Jays. But he will be a free agent at the end of the season. You got Kluber there. It'd be interesting to see where Kluber's at after the 2021 season. Carlos Martinez, I think the Cardinals probably let him walk. That's a club option, $17 million. I think they let him walk. Garrett Richards has a club option in Boston. We'll see what happens there. Pineda is going to be a free agent. Lance Lynn will be a very interesting piece. And there's Noah Syndergaard, talking about it earlier. Lynn and Syndergaard not making big bucks. Both free agents coming up. Zach Davies. Davies could be an under-the-radar piece for somebody. Dylan Bundy, Eduardo Rodriguez, Robbie Ray, Quintana, Happ, Wainwright, Lyles, Haney. Haney's going to want to get some more money. McCullers, Archer, John Gray. Anybody want John Gray? Is there any John Gray love? Anybody interested in John Gray? What do we want for Ryu? Nah, man, we're not getting rid of him. Ryu is going to be with the Blue Jays till his arm falls off, which might actually happen. Still trying to recover after the Fisher DFA. I know that was tough. I know, man. Tyler, I'm serious, man. Thought we had something there. I thought we had something, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And I can't trade him to you anymore. We don't have the rights. But you can now get him for free. I'm going to die. I will absolutely die if Derek Fisher ends up on the Mets. If it happens, Tyler and I are going to just start literally, we're going to have to do like a weekly trade piece of content where we just make deals happen. We start moving people around because, that's some clairvoyant stuff right there. Let's see. At least we hit on other Astros outfielder. Let's see here. Neither Jays reporter with TSN suggested Jays are done. So, right. I mean, they have not suggested. Nobody from TSN or anybody close to the Blue Jays has suggested that they're done adding. What they're talking about is that they might, the money that's left, the Jays just might not have the money to go in and get serious about that. I have a feeling that's the deal. Okay. Jared, thank you for tweeting that out. The free agent market is pretty bare, but you can still make. So these are the guys that are still out there. Just a quick one. Odorizzi, Walker, Leak, Hamels, and Anderson. I would take Odorizzi if they could get him on a good deal. I think that might not happen though. I would take Walker. I like Mike Leake, but that's not. I want something with a high ceiling. I want somebody with a high ceiling. I think Walker could be it. Listen, you put guys in new situations, and then all of a sudden, it's just it clicks, right? They can turn their career around. Was Toronto the right situation for Walker? I'd like to see that out. Porcello, Shoemaker, Tehran would be interesting. Anibal Sanchez pitched well for the Nats when they were in the World Series. I think he might still have something in the tank. Yeah, those are and then Gio, Anderson, Bailey, Montgomery, Samardzija. So we'll see. Let's see. Wardy, I say Odorizzi lands in your division for sure. That's good. That's an interesting point from Tyler. What if Odorizzi ends up on the Rays? Like what happens then? If he ends up with Tampa, I'm not going to be happy about that. That would be the part that'll really hurt, is if he ends up on a rival. Then we start looking at, the Blue Jays falling back behind Tampa. Right now I have the Jays just a little bit above Tampa in that division behind the Yankees. Chances the Mets get Suarez right now, I don't think it happens. I think the Reds are going to try to see what they've got at this point. In season, I think that there's a chance they might swing that deal. The Reds probably want a ton for Eugenio Suarez because he's on a $10 million a year contract for like next 4 or 5 years. So that's going to be hard to get away. That's going to be tough. They're going to have to come to the table with something serious. Let's see. Do you think Stripling is going to surprise? I do. I like Ross Stripling. I'm actually, if we're talking about the rotation, if you look at the Blue Jays depth chart, you've got Ryu, Pearson, Roark, Ray, Thornton, Chatwood, Matz. I take Thornton out of this thing and I put Stripling. Like if we're looking at the, a battle for a fifth starter or a number 6 starter, I like Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling is good. Corbin Burns, thoughts of Brewer. I don't think the Brewers are going to get rid of Corbin Burns. Brewers are going to be competing. Let's see. Mets going to make the package for Brian and Hendricks. What are the chances? I mean, we know they're talking, but word is that teams want the Mets number 1 catching their top catching prospect back, and the Mets don't want to give that up. That's holding them up. Just remember the top prospects are third base, shortstop, both who are blocked for right. I mean, it makes sense for the Mets to do that. It makes sense for them to do that. I think so. I mean, the Blue Jays are in a similar situation with Jordan Groshans, right? He's blocked, for sure. We're going to see. We'll see how those trades work out. I think the Reds are going to want. I just feel like the Reds are going to want to hold on. Papa, welcome in. Let's see. Wardy, man, the Mets are not. The Mets are going to be good. The Mets are going to be pushing the Braves. It is going to be Mets and Braves beating the heck out of each other all 2021 long. Let's see. I try a package of Marquez and Gray from Colorado. I'd rather just get Marquez. I don't know if I'm worried about not Sonny Gray, John Gray. That'd be the wrong Gray. That would be the wrong shade of gray. Would be John Gray. I want Sonny Gray. If I'm getting a gray, I want the Sonny one, not the John one. Jays fan, hear me out. Let me get rid of this thing now because we're not really looking at it. Hear me out. Jansen, Barucki, and Orvelis Martinez need to go to the Cubs. I don't think that's enough. That's not enough. You for Bryant or for Hendricks, I don't think that gets it done. I don't think it gets that done. I think they need to do more than that. All right, let me get this back up. So where are we going here? I got to get back to the comments, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to move everything around. Let's see. I'm excited for the season start. I don't know about any of you guys, but I just have these moments when I'll just be doing anything. I'll be doing the dishes. I'll be getting gas. I'll be, trying to fall asleep. I'll be helping my kid with his counting, and I just get these moments of excitement, wanting the season to start. I'm with you on that. I want the season to start. I know, Papa. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The Derek Fisher fan club, it's going to have to change residences. I know. The rumors of Cubs were planning to non-tender. I know. But they couldn't do that. They could not do that. There's no way they could non-tender Chris Bryant. Hassan, I hope Mats, Roark, Ray, Stripling, Chatwood, click, then it'd be dope. I'm with you. All these, I think Stripling is good. I think Robbie Ray's going to have a nice season. This is why I want Taijuan Walker in, because I think you add those guys add them up, and I think you have something good happening. Jake wondered, did I play a decent level of ball? I did not. When I was younger, I was more into basketball, quite frankly. I played a lot of basketball. I liked baseball, but I was more into basketball at the time. Let's see, Wardy, what you got? The Cubs are on something else for thinking they land our seventh prospect for an expiring Bryant. It doesn't make sense for the Mets to give up too. It makes sense for nobody to give up too much for Chris Bryant. You just don't know. You just don't know. He may say, "I'm going to test this thing." Walker as insurance. Walker would be the number 5. Walker would be number 5. Basketball is a lot of fun. Sean Lee, I agree with you. Just letting you guys know, once my little kids can actually go to first grade and kindergarten and all that stuff, and I have time during the day, there's a very good chance that I start a basketball channel. I just don't have time. That, or I'll double down on baseball. One or the other is going to happen once the kids are out of the house between the hours of 8:30 and 3. Again, either this thing goes to a whole new level, or I start a basketball channel, or I'm going to go find somebody who's got a basketball channel, and I'm just going to piggyback off them for a little bit. Opinion on Giles leaving? It was happening. They weren't going to hold on to him and pay him to not play this year. That's not where the Jays are at right now, Braden. That's my feeling there. Walker probably, right? If he's going to base his salary on what Paxton got, I got to think Taijuan Walker's probably around $10 million right now. Robbie Ray was a 19-game. The ceiling for Robbie Ray is there. I'm glad they got Robbie Ray back. I am a Robbie Ray fan. I like Robbie Ray. I think what he could do. Let's see here. Paxton is no longer Canadian. Is Canada giving up on him? How many times has he had a chance to go and return home and he hasn't done it? Is it time to revoke him? Is it time to just give him to the Northwest? Mike Leake is a cheap option, but there's too many of that. The Blue Jays have too many of that at this point. They have a bunch of Mike Leakes already there. They need the guy that is a clear number 2. That's what they needed. And Taijuan Walker probably isn't that. Odorizzi, just based on the other pitchers there, would be that. But I just feel like they need the guys a clear number 2. Right. In order to return, we actually, that's it. You can come back. Big Maple, you can come back, but you have to come back by way of a contract with Toronto. Chris Bryant and Hendricks, I just don't see it happening right now. The Cubs want a lot for Chris Bryant, and there's no guarantee he resigns. If there's guys that are likely to not resign on these one-year deal things, I mean, I think Chris Bryant's one of them. I think Chris Bryant would be up there. Just a gut feeling. I think he would be very interested to sort of test free agency and see what everybody, what other teams are willing to offer. So I wouldn't do that. And Hendricks, the thing with Hendricks is he's got generally a team-friendly deal for a top rotation guy. And who's going to want to give up? Why would they want to give him up? The Cubs probably still want to do something. William, thank you for the super chat. Cubs are hoping for Bryant to have a great first half to rebound from last season so they can get more. Or maybe it just clicks. Maybe he gets it together and all of a sudden he loves being there and they keep him there. It benefits the Cubs to hold on to him. It certainly does. For many reasons that does. Thank you for the super chat, William. I appreciate that. A loyal viewer there, William. I appreciate that. Let's see. Just look at match AAA Ray and Thornton splits per inning after the fifth inning. So many do. So many fall off. We're 98 likes, Papa. Anybody out there that wants to give us the final 2 likes to push us over 100? Is there anybody out there that could get us there by hitting that like, just tapping that little thumbs up thing towards the bottom of the screen? Get us to 100. We're there. All right. We are at 100 likes. Thank you, everybody. We are 100 to 1. 100 likes to 1 dislike. I will take that. I will take that every day. We're over 100. We're at 115. Guys, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. We're at 117. Thank you. I am just realizing, how bad is it? Oh, I'm going back and forth between my feed and the YouTube feed, and it looked like there's like a 5-minute delay based on where the chat is for me and the chat is on YouTube. It's not that bad. The chat is just trying to catch up. Okay, never mind. Seriously, I'm like, wait a minute. There's like a 5-minute delay between me and the chat. That's terrible. You guys say something, and then you're wondering what the heck happened to Jim. He's not even talking to me anymore. Is there a chance the Padres trade Paddock to make room for Mackenzie Gore? That's a great question, Baseball Domain. That's a great question. We kind of talked about that a little bit when the Padres were making all those moves. Where's Mackenzie Gore fit in? You bring Snell, Darvish in. They're there for a while. You got Clevenger coming back next year. You got to think he's going to be there maybe for a season or two. Paddock is your young guy. Lamette's your young guy. What do you do with Mackenzie Gore? You can bring Mackenzie Gore up in the beginning and have him sort of be you can bring him along slowly, right? Have him come out of the bullpen. Look at what the Dodgers have done with May, with Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin, and had them kind of go back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen. That's what you could do with Gore. But eventually you got to slide him into that, into a starter role. And right, they're going to have to do some kind of trade. There will have to, and you got Adrian Morejon. They've got a lot of guys there that could start. There probably will be some trades. And Paddock, that's a great idea. If it's Paddock, you have to give up a lot though for Paddock. That's my thing. Everybody here hanging out. It is late on a Saturday. It is almost 12:30 in the East. It's a West Coast stream tonight because of the West Coast news, but we are up late talking Jays, talking Padres, talking to the lights flickering again. Last time this happened, nothing happened. I thought it might have been a sign from the baseball gods that we were about to have a move, and we didn't. It's flickering again. Maybe something happened. Maybe every time it flickers, Shapiro is like picking up the phone and calling somebody. I can't imagine that. It's late. He's probably sleeping. Yes, if you're in the West, you guys are you're just settling into your evening at this point. Papa, I'm sorry, man. I know. Ben, Paddock for Gurriel. Here's what's going to be interesting, guys. We want Gurriel. We want all these guys. But if we get to a situation where they're not going to re-sign Gurriel, they got to trade him. I don't want him to. I want Gurriel. I want to see Gurriel hit that peak with the Blue Jays. I want that. But, if it gets to a point where they're not going to be able to re-sign him and we have to have a long look in the mirror about it, I want that. That's the kind of return for him that I would like. Papa, have a good one. Have a good night. Would the Jays make a run and get Matt Chapman? I don't think Matt Chapman's getting traded. Where did the whole thing start with the Mets? Was that just Craig Carton popping off? Who had that? Anybody that's in the chat, Mets fans. I know we got a bunch of Mets fans that are hanging out. Where did the Matt Chapman rumors get started? Because that makes absolutely no sense for the A's to trade Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman is making pennies. He's been in the MVP conversation the last 2 full seasons we've had. He's young. That team, that A's team, is still trying to contend. Where did that even come from? I know the rumors are fake. I think I saw Craig Carton mentioned it, which gives it absolutely no credence. Any New Yorkers, know what I'm talking about. Like, that doesn't mean anything if Carton said it. Where did it come from? Gurriel has 4 years of control of, which is why the team wants him. Yeah, he will be here. And in 3 years, maybe Gurriel is gone. Maybe. Andy Martino. Hold on, I missed it. Where was it? Andy Martino said the Mets gave Oakland a call. And then it kind of got going. And then Carton said it, but Andy Martino confirmed. Okay, I just wanted to know. Yeah, it's one of those things where, they made a phone call, but there's no way that's happening. Listen, how do you think J.D. Davis feels? Okay. I don't know if Kyle's still in here. How do we think J.D. Davis feels after all of this that's gone on? This guy's supposed to be the third baseman for the Mets, and the Mets are just running his name through the mud right now. How would you feel at your work if you're doing your job and all of a sudden they started bringing in people to interview for your job, or they started making phone calls and you heard the phone call saying, yeah, you know what? We need to get somebody new to do this. And this is what you did. How would you feel? For real, how do you think J.D. Davis feels right now? That they're just running his name through the mud, and they had to come out and say that they're very encouraged about J.D. Davis contributing significantly in 2021. Okay, well, that's just damage control because J.D. Davis is ticked off. I just feel bad for I kind of feel bad for J.D. Davis. They just who cares? Let's see. Woods Richardson comes up in May. Could make sense. Yeah, I think we're going to see some. We'll probably see some arms come up. Looking at the Blue Jays depth chart real quick, or not the depth chart, but the top prospect situation. Who's close to coming up? Woods Richardson. He's 20. Where did he pitch at in 19? He was pitching at A ball. He pitched 6 games in Dunedin after the trade. Pitched well. He's going to have to come through the system, right? They're going to start him at, they might start him at AA just to get him started sooner, because aren't the short, I believe the short, the lower levels are going to start later. So if there's any plans on Woods Richardson joining the club at any point in 2021, they're probably going to have to, right? They're probably going to have to bring him in, get him started at a higher level. Just my feeling on that. Outside of that, the pitching help that might show up, might arrive. I don't know if we're going to be too pumped about it. Manoa's not coming up. Kloffenstein's not coming up. Pardino's coming back from injury. He's not coming up. So that's the piece, right? The pitchers that could come. Woods Richardson is the one that could come up. Yeah, Z Benoit. Yeah, I think he probably does need another year in the minors. You like Gausman? I'm not a big Gausman fan, but I just have memories of him when he was with Baltimore. Even when he was at his best in Baltimore. I'm not a fan. Anybody just coming in, finding this for the very first time? I'm seeing a lot of new names in the chat, so thank you. Thank you if you were just finding me for the first time tonight. A lot of new names. A lot of folks that I think I've seen maybe once before. So if you're coming back to us, thank you. Make sure if you were just finding us, hit that subscribe, join the community that we're building, especially if you're a Blue Jay fan. Not only if you're a Blue Jay fan. I mean, I'm a Jays fan, so we will talk Jays and we can get a little bit more in depth with Jays, but I just love baseball. Baseball is life here on Ballcap Sports. So if that sounds familiar to you, I think you might like it here. So please subscribe if you, if you're just finding us for the first time. And anybody that's already subscribed, if you can subscribe again, like, do they do double subs? Like, Kyle, can you subscribe again? Can you do a second subscription? Does anybody have like a second account? I'm kidding. Totally killing. Clovex, what are some pitchers that can get traded in the trade deadline? In my opinion, well, I think a lot of the names that we've heard so far could be traded at the trade deadline. Sonny Gray, probably not Luis Castillo. Marquez from the Rockies. I think Felix Hernandez, if he's pitching well with the Orioles, Felix Hernandez could be traded. James Paxton could be traded at the deadline. Kyle Hendricks could be traded at the deadline. So a lot of the names that we've heard that have been kicked up recently, I think could be traded at the deadline. Plus, a lot of the guys who are signing these one-year deals, I think they could be traded. Paxton, Felix Hernandez, I think they could do something. Rocky likes a Grichuk trade. He's got some value, but because of the how much he's getting paid, now he's not getting paid a lot, but he's not cheap. So how much you can get back, it will be a little restrictive. If you want to turn Grichuk into Sonny Gray somehow, you're going to have to include a good prospect. And the nice thing about Sonny Gray is you get Sonny Gray for a couple more seasons. And talking about Sonny Gray is his contract is less than what we're hearing Jake Odorizzi wants. Jake Odorizzi, we've heard 3 years, $45 million. That's the most recent number that was out there. That may have changed. I just haven't seen it, but most recently the number I saw was 3 for $45. If anyone's seen anything else, correct me on that. But you can get Sonny Gray for less. I think you can get Kyle Hendricks for less. So yeah. John Gray to the Jays. I would be down with John Gray if we didn't have to give much up for John Gray. BZ Baseball, have a good one. Have a good evening. I would be down with John Gray if we didn't have to give up too much for him. Overpaid on Ryu. They had to, Robert. I think they had to. If they wanted to get him, they were going to have to overpay. So they were in a tough spot. They had to. They maybe gave him a year more than they probably wanted to. But if they wanted to get him, that's what they got to do. That's a lot of times that's what you got to do to get the guy. Syndergaard will be a J this time next year. We'll see, Ben. That would be very interesting. Hopefully he pitches well in 21 to come on over. If he pitches too well, he might price himself out, would be the only worry. The light's flickering again. That or, my house is about either my house is about to catch fire or there's going to be a move. Something's going to happen. Zach, thank you for the tweets. I see you over there on the tweet. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Again, anybody that follows me when we're in here doing this thing, I'll give you a follow back if you follow while I'm live. And the reason I do that is because we'll go into these modes when if stuff's hot, stuff's happening. And if I can, meaning I'm not being pulled in 3 different directions with stuff happening, outside of this in real life stuff, I'll go live and we'll talk about it. We'll do a build up. We did Springer Watch. That was a lot of fun. We did Springer Watch leading up to him signing. We did a couple different Trevor Bauer watches. So we'll do some watches when big stuff's happening. So that's why I want you guys to know I'm on Twitter, because when we go into that mode, you guys become the lookouts. And I need you guys to be sending me what you're seeing on Twitter. Because I follow the big guys, and I follow a lot of people, but I don't follow everybody. If we're talking about athletes, we're talking about local media. Sometimes I'm not following everybody. You guys follow people I might not be, and you guys can let us know. So that's why I put the Twitter thing out there. So Zach, thank you for that. And again, I'll give you the follow back. Instagram story. Oh, that's funny. Let's go Jays at Big Jays sending me the Aaron Sanchez Instagram story. 95-98. Who wants it? Oh, that's funny. Listen, that year Aaron Sanchez gave the Blue Jays was awesome. But the dude just keeps getting blisters. Okay? Do you think you do a stream on opening day? Yes, for sure. 1,000%. There will be a live stream for opening day. I got to figure that out. But you can take that to the bank. There will be a Blue Jay stream on opening day. I'm serious, man. This light, I'm sure you can see it. It's flickering out of control. I'm all about it. I think we're going to do a big thing for opening day. What do we got? We got April 1st opening day. Is that what it is? Somebody correct me. I think, yeah, we got opening day April 1st. Blue Jays have a 1 o'clock game. So, yeah, we'll be doing that. I think it is. It's haunted. It's haunted by the Blue Jays ghost of Shun Yamaguchi and Derek Fisher. They're haunting me. They know we're not talking kindly about them tonight. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely something going on here. I was hoping it was a sign. I was hoping that it was a sign that something was going to happen. But there it goes again. If a fire just bursts out and I, get engulfed in it, I would love you guys to, call the authorities if it's necessary. Matt Harvey back with the Orioles, right? Let's see, losing Lindor will turn the Cleveland clock back another 8 years. Robert, I'm kind of with you on that. I feel like if you're the Indians, just pay the man, keep him there. Keep him there. You got to keep. Yeah. Hold on. Did I see the ESPN opening day schedule? I have not. I have not looked that far ahead, and shame on me, quite frankly. MLB opening day for not really digging into that. Let's see here. All right, it's April 1st. We'll check it out. But either way, we are going to be. We will be doing something on opening day. It looks like we've got on April 1st. I'm sorry, I'm getting really close to the mic to look at my phone. That was rude. And my phone is in like night mode, so everything's just all screwed up right now. All right, we got TBDs on Orioles, Red Sox, White Sox, Angels, and then you got 1 o'clock Jays, Yanks. That's gonna be a great one. Opening day, Blue Jays and Yankees. Get that thing started right from the beginning. And you got Indians, Tigers, 1 o'clock. I know if I'm able to do it, behind the scenes, off camera, the situation can be very tricky. Kids, school, working from home, the whole thing, it can get very tricky. But that day is a big day, and we're going to do something big for that. That's my plan. I want to be, any Jays fan. I did see somebody ask a question who my favorite team was. Jays are my favorite team. We got to do something. We got to do something for that. Anyone know if MLB TV will black out Jays games again this year if they're playing in Florida? Great question, Jake. Probably. I hate to say it, but probably. That's awful, by the way. That would be absolutely awful. Did they do that in Buffalo? I'm wondering if they did that in Buffalo. Philip, thank you for the sub. Again, anybody that is just finding the channel for the very first time, come on and join our community. Jays fans, you got to subscribe, right? Jays fan here. We talk Jays a lot, but we talk everything. This is not just a Blue Jays channel. Talk about everything. So if you do subscribe tonight, or if you're a new subscriber tonight, I would like you to let me know in the chat, because I'd like to thank you. and give you a shout out. So if you are a new subscriber tonight, please comment that you're a subscriber. I would like to put your name on the screen and give you a thank you. What's next for the Dodgers? What else do you want? Who just asked me what's next for the Dodgers? It is the World Series is next for the Dodgers. How much will Walker get? The deal is he going to get, multi-years, or is he just going to get a 1-year deal? What's the Turner contract for that whole situation? It was 2 years and $38 million, right? With an option, or $34 million, with an $8 million signing bonus and an option for a 4th year. So there was a lot on that. 2 years, $34 million, club option for a 3rd season, $8 million signing bonus. Let's see. Yeah, Dodgers, you're good. You are good to go. What can the Dodgers? Yeah. Turner was overpaid by a mile. William, I mean, I think there's one more good year. We looked at it earlier. We looked at his projection. He's got, let me get that banner out of the way. I mean, the projection, I trust the baseball forecaster folks, Baseball HQ, Ron Chandler. I trust them. I feel like this is legit. This is based off of all of the metrics. They don't just pull this number out of thin air and hope and, look at the numbers he's done recently or anything like that. This is based on, barrel rate. This is based on expected home runs. This is fly ball rate. This is all that, this is all of that they put into coming up with these projections. And if this is what he does, that's worth it. They're paying the right amount for that. Now, 2022 is going to come along eventually. And what are you getting from Justin Turner then? The fact that it's just 2 guaranteed years is a great situation for the Dodgers. Gets paid for what he's done, and I think what he's getting paid is reasonable for what he is projected to do this year. So Justin Turner heading back to the Dodgers, I mean, that's a great one. Dodgers fans, it's great. I mean, of everybody that I've talked about when Dodgers topics have come up, and I have even hinted at the idea that Justin Turner might not resign, whether it was because it was taking too long or because the Bauer deal was going to put him over, or whether it was because they were over the luxury tax, or whether it was because, a month ago they said they were close and then it all got quiet real quick. It was always, he's coming back. You're crazy. He's coming back. So I 1000% Dodgers fans, you were right. Chris, new subscriber tonight. Welcome. Thank you for that. Again, anybody that subscribes tonight, let me know. Please comment. I'd like to put your name up on the screen, and thank you. I mentioned earlier that Jays are out on Rosenthal. Wouldn't he close over? No, Yates is going to be the closer. Rosenthal, in my opinion, Rosenthal isn't going to want to do anything with the Blue Jays because there's still closer jobs out there. The Braves need a closer. Now, maybe he's asking for too much and the Braves don't want to go to that level, but there are still teams that need, the Padres still needed a closer until they signed Melanson. There are still teams that need closers and the Blue Jays just don't. So, in my opinion, that means Rosenthal's not happening. If I'm wrong on that, I would love to be wrong on that because I think that Rosenthal, that the back end of that bullpen would be lights out, but I just don't see it happening. Braves or Dodgers at this point? It's Dodgers. It's got to be Dodgers, Braves don't need to close it. I know you've got the Will Smith situation going on there, but Melanson was closing games at the end of last year, wasn't he? What Braves fans, you a little bit closer to the situation. I need you to tell me what's the deal. Why was Melanson closing games with Will Smith on the team? Let's see. Paxton and Walker are friends. I always thought they'd go somewhere together, and I was hoping it was Toronto. We'll see. I mean, why would Walker go back to Seattle? I just don't understand. Katie, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I just don't understand why they would. Why Seattle doing this? I mean, again, trade pieces for later in the season because they're not going to win this year. Padres had interest until, yeah, no doubt, for sure. What do you think about Justin Turner signing? Kevin, I was saying it earlier. I think it's to the point now where the Dodgers are the World Series, not just the favorite to get to the World Series anymore, World Series champions. I mean, and it's tough. You don't want to just come right out and say that when they haven't even played a game of spring training. But with everything they put together, it's big. It's big stuff. Will Smith had injury and had COVID at the beginning. It wasn't great. He's been working hard to come back for 2021. Okay. I mean, I know Will Smith's been very good. Maybe, and if they want to roll with Will Smith, they can roll with Will Smith. There's still other teams that need closers outside of the Braves. There are a handful of teams that need some closers. I got to think he had to really, really work hard to get back to closing, to being an elite pitcher. He's not going to want to put himself in a situation where he's not closing anymore. I think he's going to want to keep that for his own sake. Would the Blue Jays love to have him? Sure, probably. But he might be asking a lot. And again, personally, I can't imagine you work that hard to get back and then you take a step back. I just couldn't see it happening. Let's see. What do we got? What's on Twitter? A now deleted tweet. Where is it? Here it is. Fuzzy tweeted, Walker Buehler laughed at Brewers fans who thought they had a chance at signing Justin Turner. Oh, that's funny. Walker Buehler's a good follow. Walker Buehler's a good follow. He was pumped. He was vocal about the Bauer thing. He was all about, he's getting into it about Turner. Why did it take so long, though? Can we be honest? What took so long? Dodger fans. I know we got Dodger fans in here. Why did this take so long? It's not like he got less by waiting, and it's not like the Dodgers got a better deal. Like, this was the deal that kind of made sense from day one. What took so long? I'm really curious about that. What do you think? Dodgers fans, comment. What do you think took so long for this Turner deal to get done? I'm glad it happened for the Dodgers. I'm just surprised. You think Dodgers wanted 1 year? You think they were negotiating back and forth? Could be. I mean, if you're in LA, you're going to be closer to it. I'm on the East Coast. If you're in LA, you would have been closer hearing more about the negotiation. Sean, yeah, we did see Turner wanted 4 years. Dodgers wanted 2. Felt like from the start with Justin Turner, that was a negotiation ploy. That was, if he probably in his mind, in his heart, he's like, I want to play a couple more years. But if I go to somebody and say I want 2, they're going to give me 1. So you say you want 4 to get 2. Dodgers wanted 4 years. A lot of Dodgers. JT wanted 4, and that was it. They had to talk him down. I mean, they definitely met in the middle with a 2-year deal and a club option for 3. So the Dodgers definitely met in the middle. A lot of new names chiming in here. Thank you guys for hopping in here. A lot of new names. If you're just finding me for the first time right now, make sure you subscribe. Stay close. Would love for you guys. Would love to see you in the chat down the road for future live streams. Let's see. Corbin, thank you. Corbin with a Y. Follow on Twitter. Bauer grossly overpaid. It's only 2 years. He's going to be there 2 years. He's going to be gone. MLB Joey, happy that the Mets didn't get Bauer. I know. I mean, look at this thing. You guys see this thing? My light's going nuts. Again, it's either a sign that something's going to happen. It's the baseball god sending me a sign that something's going to happen, or my house is going to burn down. One or the other. All right. Let's see. Newer sub, first time. Jake, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Who do I think the Jays will sign as a starter? Ozuna is a free agent. Let me get back to this one. I still think it's Taijuan Walker is the lead. I think Taijuan Walker is the lead there. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. JQ, listen, I wish I could take credit for it. It's my real, and I'm, not trying to hide anything. My real basement has been taken over by the kids. I have two very little kids. They have taken over this place. This is a green screen. The kids have taken over. My basement's good. My basement's nice. It's finished. It's got decorations on the wall. It looks good. But I've got Thomas the Train stuff. It's a mess. So this is what we're doing for now. Daniel, thank you. Thank you for the sub. Again, if you're subbing tonight for the first time, comment in the chat. I would like to, I'd like to thank you. Let's see. Braves GM said he signed Ozuna for a cheaper price, signed a few more bullpen arms. Braves did make a few minor league moves, bullpen signings. Braves are in good shape. Anybody see that baseball prospectus over under? 2. Hello, welcome. Thank you for the sub. Hold on, let me move that. Was that ever your room? No. Let's see. JC54. Padres, you are partly to blame for this, is all I'm going to say. It's partly your fault that the Dodgers went out and signed Trevor Bauer and signed Justin Turner and did everything they did. The Padres had to get all fancy, had to get all aggressive on everybody and sign, trade for Snell and Darvish and do all that. And so it just, you poke the bear, and the bear has bit back. I blame you, Padres. Do you think the Dodgers will win over under? I think it'll be under 110. I think they probably going to get 100. I think they'll get to 100, but they are going to have a hard time with the Padres. The Padres are going to be tough, and you've got, they're going to be playing the other NL teams, right? The Cardinals are going to be tough. They're going to get to 100. They'll get to 100. Did they get to 110? I would take the under. If that was the number that you could gamble, I would go under. MLB Joey likes 103. I like 103. 103 feels good. If I had to bet the over-under on 103, that would be a tough call. 107, I'd probably take the under. Again, if I got money on the line. Again, we're seeing a jump. A lot of folks hopping into the stream, and again, a lot of new names, new faces in the chat room. Trade Man, welcome in. Another new face. Trade Man, I might have seen you before. There's some new names within the last couple of streams. So at Trade Man, I think I saw you maybe in the stream we did the other day in the middle of the afternoon. Let's see. Peter, your thoughts on Lourdes Gurriel Jr.? Love him. I want him to stay with the Jays and be with the Jays for as long as possible. I think he's got tremendous upside. Bueller got the 2-year, $8 million to avoid. I think it's great. I think it's a great deal. Great deal for the Dodgers. Great deal for him. Mark, you think the Jays can hit 90 wins? That's going to be tough. With this pitching, that's going to be tough. They're going to need to sign somebody, or they're going to need to make a trade. Oh, I got you. Trade Man is okay. I see you there. Scooter, new name. Changing names is really confusing. Who do the Jays trade for, Mr. Curry? It would have to be a pitching trade. Have to be. Padres over under 100 wins. Could you imagine two teams in the National League West winning 100 games? It's happened before. Back in the 90s, the Dodgers and the Giants did it. It could happen again. If there's a year that it could happen again. The Jays can't go 89 and 91. That is mathematically impossible. Do you mean 89 and 81? That's still mathematically impossible. Maybe 89 and 91 if there's some playoff games. I guess I can go 89 and 91 with some playoff games. Over under 94 for the Mets. 94 sounds good. Listen, here's the deal, guys. So we do the Tuesday night nightcap coming up this Tuesday, the 16th, right? 16th. Robbie Hyde is going to be joining me, and we're going to be doing the American League over-unders. We're basically, Vegas hasn't put them out yet. We're going to be looking at the baseball prospectus numbers, and we're going to kind of do an AL preview looking at the over-unders for all the American League teams. And then the following week on Tuesday, because that's when we always go live Tuesday nights at 10 East. I'm going to be doing we're going to do the National League with Hum Baby Baseball. So you're going to have Eric from Hum Baby Baseball, any Giants fans. He'll be with me in 2 weeks to do NL, and AL will be in a couple days with Robbie Hyde. Oh, Jays win totals 80-90-91. Thank you. Okay. It's late. It's almost 1 a.m. So some things are going to start to look crooked, and my light's flickering. You guys might need to confirm that. Is the light really flickering, or is that me? I'm a happy Yamaguchi's gone. Actually, no, Big Air. I would have liked them to work that out, but I get it. There's no room for him. There's no room for him. I would have liked to have seen what he could do, but they obviously didn't see enough, and that was it. They move on. So I get it. They might be a ghost. This is true. Let's see. I think the Jays see something in a couple pictures that we don't. Very good point. I'm with you on. I think there could be some good things from Merriweather or Hatch or Kay or something like that. But if they want this team to go and try to win the American League East and get over the Yankees, I don't know if we want to put those guys in that position for the first year for them to be a regular starter. I mean, there's just something I'm just not into it. J Money, thank you for that. The God Squad, something big's coming. J Money, I'm just gonna go out there and say there's something big coming. I'm talking with those guys. I have a relationship with those guys. Something big's coming. I have not talked with them about something big, but I got something big in here with those guys and a couple other streamers too. Big things coming. Under 90 for the Rays. If raised with this roster that they have now, probably 90 might be it, like 89, something like that. Oh yeah, Mark, that was terrible. That projection was an absolute disaster, a train wreck. How they put that out was disappointing. MLB should have told the guys at Baseball Prospectus, no, thank you. We're not publishing that. Right. You know what? That's a good point. Ryu, how does he feel? First year out of Dodger Town, and they win the World Series without him. I hear you there. I'm sure he would have liked to have been there. The Rays win 84 games, make the playoffs, win the World Series. I seriously wouldn't be shocked. They're a tough team in a short series. They are a tough team in a short series. That bullpen is the missing link to I hate the bullpen. I hate their bullpen. It drives me crazy. What other moves or trades should the Padres make? Are they complete? They're complete. With that Melanson deal, JC 54, they're complete. That Melanson deal was it. That was the final piece. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's late. It is 1 a.m. almost on the East, which means it is 10 in the West. It's getting late, so my math is getting foggy, guys. So thank you guys for hanging out. We had some moves tonight. I wanted to come on late, talk about it, and I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with me. Again, a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. Ernie, Padres are done. I agree with you. Hayden, thank you for telling my friends about the channel. So I appreciate you guys hanging out here late on a Saturday. Cabrera to the Diamondbacks. Yeah, the Diamondbacks are fascinating. I mean, they're not going to win anything, but they are going to compete. They are competing. 954 in the West. All right, sounds good. I want to go. Listen, for reasons like this, I would love to live out west. Are you kidding me? Safe 6517 Braves should sign Rosenthal. We were talking about that earlier. I had a Braves fan. The name is escaping me. Corrected me that Will Smith was on the squad and felt pretty good about Will Smith being the closer. Braves are one win from eliminating the Dodgers. You can never count. I agree with you, KD. That's why it's hard for me to come out and say, they're going to start engraving the trophy. But, I mean, if there's ever been a team that just looks like the wire to wire, I mean, it's the Dodgers right now. Hayden, you're a Braves fan. What do you want? Would you rather have Rosenthal or Will Smith closing out games? Let me know. Jays take a flyer on Danny Salazar. I think they have enough guys that I don't. I think if there's any pitching that is added, it is pitching that can fit into that number 2 or number 3 spot. I don't think they're going to take a flyer on anybody at this point. Will Alex Manoah start in a couple years? I think he's a couple years away. That guy, Andrew. I think he's a couple years away. Hayden, you're good with Smith? Okay. Bartolo Colon. That's a good one. Were you surprised Nomar Mazara ended up with the Tigers? I am a little bit. You know, we talked about the Tigers needing an extra piece. I'm kind of surprised he went to the Tigers. I felt like Oakland was a good fit for him. You know, I knew it was going to be a one-year deal. That was a given. It was going to be a one-year deal. Right. Williams, a Braves fan, right on. Green as a closer would be great. So I'm surprised he went to Detroit because he's not going to win there. Oakland seemed to make sense. Jake already have too many flyers. I agree with that. Yeah, that's the thing. Any pitchers that are coming in are going to be established pitchers. Again, love it. Again, we've got Braves fans in here. Love that. You know, the goal of the channel, you know, I want to be able to talk baseball with you guys. So if you're Braves fans and Mets fans and Padres fans and Dodgers fans and everybody that's here, thank you for being here. Trade idea from the trade man. Braves receive Joey Gallo. Rangers receive Minter, Camargo, Enciarte, Gohara. This is good for both teams. I don't know if the Rangers would do that. I know you're giving up a lot, and there's some good pieces in there. I don't know if the Rangers would want to do that. Here's a trade for you. Not Braves related. Why wouldn't the Rangers and Yankees do a trade, Luke Voit for Joey Gallo? Like who says no to that? No, Hand is with the Nats. Who says no to Joey Gallo for Luke Voit straight up? Maybe they throw some cash in. Maybe one of the teams throws in some cash or a player to be named later. But I'm all about a Gallo for Voit. I think that makes too much sense for both sides. How about a Jays Dodgers World Series? Would love it. Viralocity would love that. Jays would probably get swept. I mean, they're going to need to make a trade if they want to stand on that stage with the Dodgers. They're going to need to make a trade. Happened maybe 2 weeks ago. I mean, there's a lot that was happening. I think it was it ended up because there was so much Mets talk about it, and then that cooled off. I feel like the Hand deal did kind of sneak in under the table. Is Voit not better for like a Voit for Gallo deal? Well, here's the deal. This is why I think that trade kind of makes sense. So Joey Gallo is getting to the end of his arbitration. So Joey Gallo is going to start to need more money. Teams are going to have to pay. You have to pay Gallo more. Voit is at the beginning of the arbitration process. So financially, it would make sense for the Rangers to get a power bat that you sort of start the clock, almost kind of start the clock over with. And the Yankees, they get their lefty bat, and they don't care if they have to pay Joey Gallo. That was one of the reasons I had Voit for Gallo. Yeah, what's going to happen with Dodgers fans that are still here hanging out? What do you think? Like, are you ever going to see Gavin Lux play? I mean, I kind of feel bad for Gavin Lux. Do you feel bad for Gavin Lux, Dodgers fans? You probably don't. Drones, Dodger fan would have been fine if the Dodgers lost tomorrow. They made it past bids. Hold on. Past NLDS because they were undefeated in the postseason. Drones, what is your thought about Gavin Lux? Do you what happens? Is Gavin Lux going to start at second base? I gotta look at the Dodgers depth chart. I feel like I have this thing memorized, but it's late. So you've got you could have Muncy at first. You could have Lux at second. Let's just go through it. You have Muncy at first, Lux at second, Turner at third, Seager at short. And then in your outfield, you have Betts, Bellinger, Pollock. So what you're saying is Chris Taylor is going to be the odd man out, or is Chris Taylor and Gavin Lux just going to go back and forth? That's what it'll have to be. You'll have to have Lux and Taylor go back and forth. Is that what you got to do? I think that's what you got to do. You start Lux. You can't start Lux exclusively against righties because then you're going to see Lux all the time and you won't see Taylor. So that's the question. Yeah, Garrett Cooper rumors, that's done. Jake, good call on that. That Garrett Cooper trade that popped up, that's done. Timeshare with Taylor. I mean, and the nice thing about Taylor is you can put Taylor almost anywhere. Taylor is a Swiss Army knife. He can play in the outfield. You could have him he's not listed at second on the depth chart, but I'm sure he could fill a game at second base. You could have him at short. You could have him in the outfield. He's listed on the depth chart in all three outfield positions. He's listed as a shortstop. That versatility is just huge. The fact that you can put Muncy anywhere but short. Rios, do you trade Rios? What's going on with Edwin Rios? That's the next question. What's going on with Edwin Rios? Lux is better than Taylor. We don't know if Lux is better than Taylor. That's the thing. We don't know. He's like Kiki. Which one's like Kiki? Lux is like Kiki? I think Lux has a higher ceiling than Kiki. Trade man likes Story to the Rangers, goes to some state, sells tickets, new glove. Trevor Story will be traded if we get into the season and he's making it clear that he's not going to resign. It's going to be Lindor with the Indians all over again. If you're the Rockies, you have to trade Trevor Story if he's not going to resign. You absolutely have to do it. Let's see. Freeman likes people that can play everywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's a big component. Toronto's in that same boat. Toronto has guys that you can fit everywhere. You can put Kevin Biggio in multiple spots. You can put Bichette second or short. You got Simeon who can play multiple spots. So they've got, an interesting situation with utility guys there too. Not to the same degree as the Dodgers, but the Jays have a handful of guys that you can move and put in different spots. Who do you think is the best three-headed pitching monster in baseball history? Wow, that's a big, deep question right there. I'm just like years and teams are flooding to me. How about that 93 team with David Cohn, Dave Stewart, and Tom Candiotti? I got nothing. I mean, yes, Andrew, it's got to be the Braves with Maddox and Smoltz and Glavine. But I still like Cohn, Stewart, and Candiotti. Candiotti probably wasn't there in 93. I think he was there in 92. Jays fans know what I'm talking about. That would have been 92. So that would have been Cohn, Morris, and Candiotti. I mean, okay, yes, Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox. Yes, they beat out my Blue Jays trio. Henkin, Guzman, and Todd Stoudemire. It's getting late. I just joined. What's next for the Jays? Caden, thank you for joining. Welcome in. We're talking. It's got to be pitching, right? It's got to be pitching. I think we got to get some pitching in there. I want it to be Taijuan Walker at this point. I don't want to do 3 years for Odorizzi and $50 million. I would rather do Taijuan Walker. Let's try to frame it up like they did Paxton. 1 year, $8 million, incentives to get him to 10. Let's do that. Let's do that. Best three-headed monster, Ryu, Roark, and Pearson. I don't know. I mean, I think you got to have Mats in there. I'm going to go Mats, Roark, and it's too bad they let Chase Anderson go. Jay should trade for a Castillo. Philip, the problem with that is they'd have to give up Bo Bichette, and that's not going to happen. If they wanted Gleyber Torres from the Yankees, they're going to want Bo Bichette from the Blue Jays, and that's not happening. That guy, Andrew, that was a joke. No, it wasn't. That was legit. I know it was a joke. What else we got? I feel like I'm saying a lot. I apologize for that. It is 106 where I'm sitting. Oh, what about Halladay, Lee, and Cole Hamel. I mean, that was good for a very short window. The thing about that Braves rotation is it was good for a decade. That was good for a decade. You don't see that. You don't see that kind of sustainability. Can Mats pitch when the Blue Jays play the Braves, please? No. Not going to do that. Are you kidding me? You're going to see Tanner Roark on those days, William, and you're going to like it. 107 for me. Yeah, it is 107 for me, and I've been up since 7 a.m. And probably a little before that because, the kids start making noise before I actually wake up. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. It's a fun stream. I'm glad you guys are here. Do this one more time. Might be the last time we do it. Guys, we're sitting at 143 likes. We have 155 people in here. Are there 7 likes to be had? Can we get 7 more likes? If you're enjoying the conversation, if you've been here for a while and forgot to hit the like, hit the like. If you don't want to hit the like, if your like is something that you don't want to give me yet, I'm okay with that. But if you're enjoying the stream, let's get it up there. We're at 156. Blew past 150. Thank you, guys. Andrew, thank you for that. Shout out to Bill Spaceman Lee. Bill Lee, I think it was Bill Lee. Wasn't he in Ken Burns towards the later part of that doc? The 9th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning. I think it was Bill Lee. He was fascinating. If you think Tim Tebow will make the Mets, smash the like. If you think Tim Tebow is going to just hit bombs at spring training and make people go ooh and ah, and that's the extent of Tim Tebow's career with the Mets, hit the like. I have a feeling that is going to be Tim Tebow's. That's going to be it. For a while, I thought that there would just be, even if he's terrible, like they would bring him up as a September call-up. I don't know if that's going to happen. That was Bill Lee, right? That was Bill Lee. Bill Lee was fascinating in that. His interviews were great. MLB Joey, my most popular video has nearly 1 million. Yes, it does. My number one video is a big one. I'm not boastful about it because the circumstances were less than ideal. I would rather not have that video. I mean, anybody that wants to know the story, when Kobe passed, I got a text from my wife saying that TMZ's breaking the news. I went live immediately. And we had, over the course of an hour, 750,000 people check out the video. Because nobody, it was breaking. I know. Rest in peace, Kobe. I would trade that video. Of course. I would rather not have that video. But that was a big one. And it's it's almost surreal to look back on because that was a year ago. I played it. I went back and watched it a little bit. I haven't watched it since I went live, but I went back and watched it, and it really was just, the whole situation was surreal. And for whatever reason, I don't know if there's a sense of, I don't want to call it pride. Pride's not the right word, but to have been to have been a source for people to find that for the first time. If you go back and watch that, you can see all the comments, people saying it was fake and not believing it. And I wanted it to be fake, but it was a legitimate enough source. So we talked about it for a little bit, and a lot of people found out about that from Ball Cap Sports, which again, I would rather that not have happened. Kobe King of LA, right on. David, feeling good? You should feel good. I would feel good. If I was a Dodgers fan right now with everything there, I would be loving that. I for sure would love that. 3 years. One has to go. Good point. Bichette, Martin, Groshans. They're not going to have all 3 of them. I think they're going to keep Bichette, though. I think they keep Martin. I just feel like it's Groshans. I feel like they could turn him into a starting pitcher. I think they could turn him into Sonny Gray or Kyle Hendricks or somebody else. That's what I think they can do. Oh, it's terrible. I know. I saw the coverage on it, right? Like I saw the coverage on it. And actually, Kyle, I don't know if you're here still. It's late. But actually, when I was going through watching it, when I was watching that again, I was watching the chat just to see everybody, and Kyle popped in that chat. Yeah, that was brutal. That was terrible. Martin to center fielder in 2 years, Springer to right. That could happen. Does that mean Biggio's gone though? I mean, where does Groshans play? That's the thing. Andrew's ready for the season to start. I'm with you, man. I am ready. I might live stream some spring training games. I'm just so excited for baseball to be back. I think I might do some watch-alongs or do something around spring training. Jesse, yeah, I mean, I feel like if they could turn him into something, why not do it? Will Jay Bruce be hitting third for the Yankees by May? Probably. Once Stanton sneezes and throws something out in his back, or Aaron Judge reaches too far across the table for a beer and pulls an oblique, you could see Jay Bruce out there. I knew No Martin could play the outfield. That is right, but right now the outfield, I guess at that point we'd be moving off from Teoscar and Grichuk, which at that point I guess it's okay. If you go with Groshans or Martin and Springer and Gurriel, you still need room in the infield. Yeah, we'll do some watch-alongs. We'll do that for sure. I've seen some people, some YouTubers do that, and we're totally going to do that. I don't know how much we're going to be able to do that, but we will do that. It'll be easier for me to do that for night games for sure, but we're going to figure that out. We're going to do that. When Judge breaks his hand. Yeah, right. Are the Jays planning to sign another pitcher? I hope so. I want them to do a trade, or I want Taijuan Walker. I want something. I am not Canadian. No, Kevin, I am not. I'm in the U.S. I live in Maryland. Moved down here about 10 years ago. But I am from upstate New York, way upstate, like almost Canada upstate. I think we lived in Watertown, New York, which is about 20 minutes from the border, close to Kingston. Why did the Jays not sign Paxton? I think it's money, Mr. Curry. I think it is money. I don't think they wanted to do that. And look at the rotation right now. There's too many lefties. With Matt's coming on board, with Ryu and Robbie Ray, there's too many lefties. Cannot have 4 lefty starters, especially when the one team you got to get over has nothing but righty bats. It just didn't work. Yep, Jake. Yep, it's the lefty. $8 million with some incentives to get him up to 10. But again, the lefty arm just doesn't fit right now. Just doesn't fit with this team. Mets trade for Ramon Laureano instead of Chapman. I don't see the Mets. The A's are not going to trade Chapman or Laureano. It's just not going to happen. Midwest Sports, are your subs toggling back and forth? Mine does that sometimes. I don't understand it. The worst was at one point, I just lost 50 subs at one point. I don't know what it was. Like I was at whatever number I was at. I went to bed one night and then I woke up the next morning and it was 50 light. I was like, what just happened? I hate when subscribers toggle back and forth like that. I don't get it. Jays don't have enough lefties in the pen though. Well, I think you're going to have a situation where K is coming out of the bullpen. You've got Barucki coming out of the bullpen. So with those two are going to be the lefties, and they may sign somebody else. I think they've got somebody else on the 40-man. I'm just looking at the depth chart straight up. I feel like they had another lefty. Okay. Ty Tice. No, wait. Ty Tice is a righty. I'm sorry. Where's the other lefty? There's another lefty. You got Barucki. You got K. You're right. There is. That's it. I thought there was one more. Yeah, you're right. They probably could use another one, but But K and Barucki are going to be, in the bullpen to start the year. So maybe they feel like they're good with those two. Tim Miza, he's not on the 40 man. Let me check the non-roster. Hey, don't forget about Francisco Liriano, and Miza is on the non-active roster. Okay. So you got Miza, Liriano, Kirby Sneed. All right, so they have some lefties there that could break with the squad or be there to get called up. Yeah, Liriano is a minor league deal. Good call. And I think at this point in his career, he'll be coming out of the bullpen. This is a good one, guys. I appreciate everybody that's hanging out in here. It's a late night on the East Coast. We've been talking a lot of West Coast stuff where we're kind of just chatting at this point. We talked a lot about Turner to LA and what that means for them, and Seattle. What's next for the Jays now that's not going to happen? I wonder if players there's certainly players that just don't want to play for other teams for sure. I don't know. I think what you're getting at there, Strike Blitz, is that the Mets have been in on everybody. They were in on LeMahieu, they were in on Hand, they were in on Springer, they were in on Bauer, and they didn't get any of them. The only one they got, excuse me, the only one they got, the big name they got via trade. It's a good point. Mr. Curry, $6 million for Walker. I think he probably wants a little more. I'd love that deal, though. That would be great. Predictions on comeback player of the year for 2021. That's going to be a tough one because think about all the guys that opted out 2020. So there's going to be some regulars that just didn't play in 2020 because they opted out. That could be in that discussion. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about that more. Give me some options. Do you have any options? Do you have anybody in mind? Do you have a handful of guys in mind who could be comeback player of the year? Trey Mancini certainly could be there. I think Walker gets the same or more than Paxton. I agree. I think their deals are going to be very similar. Chris Bryant could be comeback player of the year. It's going to be with the guys that opted out and the players that, because it was only 2 months long, didn't have time to ramp it back up and get hot for a month. All that. It's just going to be a mess. I mean, not a mess, but to try to pick a comeback player of the year, the pool is going to be huge. Block of Sports, where is JBJ going? I think the Phillies could make some sense for Jackie Bradley Jr. at this point. Let me think about that. Jackie Bradley Jr. So the Astros could make sense. The Mets have said they're still engaged, and the Phillies. I would go between those three teams, and I would probably pick the Phillies for Jackie Bradley Jr. at this point. David Price, Rob, maybe, yeah. I mean, Yelich. I mean, JD Martinez. So many guys were bad last year because it was 2 months long. They the comeback player of the year is. I mean, the MVP in 2021 could also be the comeback player of the year. That's how many good players were bad in 2020 just because it was 2 months. I agree with you. Mets have a more. The reason I mentioned Jackie Bradley Jr. is because it's out there that the Mets are still talking about. I think it makes no sense in the world for the Mets to go get Jackie Bradley Jr. I think it's the Phillies. I think the Phillies and the Astros are two that make the most sense. I would not do the Mets at all. Yeah, Yelich was bad. Yelich could be the MVP and the comeback player of the year. Andrew Benintendi was awful. Andrew Benintendi also started to decline a little bit in 2019. What is my take on Andy Martino? You're going to have to remind. What are we talking about? What are you wondering there? What exactly are you wondering? Covers Yankees. I mean, are you just wondering about, like, I don't know. He doesn't follow anybody on Twitter. That's kind of lame. How do you not follow somebody? Like, follow somebody. He follows 0 people. What are you wondering? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know a whole lot about him. I'm not close enough to the media there. That's why we do the whole thing with Twitter, where I want you guys, see something, say something, find me on Twitter at Jim Riley Live, because I want you to, something from Andy Martino comes out. I don't follow Andy Martino. I guess I should, but I don't. And so I count on you guys sometimes when you see that stuff to tweet it at me. Guys buys, doesn't care about doing it. There's a lot of guys like that, unfortunately. There's guys that, listen, here's the thing, maybe what happens. If you're with your favorite team, that's one thing, right? And then I think some people just get burned out from the job, right? I think some people just get burned out from the job because you put yourself out there with stuff, with predictions and comments, and there's always people that are going to come back and just want to pick a fight with you. I don't know who did it, but I put up a video, my video from yesterday, where we were just having fun, making these reckless trade predictions. And fair warning, they're reckless and I have no inside knowledge, but we're just having fun. And he comments talking about why would anybody want to hear about what some fat outfielder is going to get in a trade or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was so random and negative. And my reply back was just 3 question marks. Like, what does this comment even have any relevance here, kind of thing? And he replied back to me, was the question too complex for you? Some people just want to pick fights. I don't get it. So if you're in the media, if you're out there, if you're working with SNY or you're working with, the Fan, or you're working with ESPN, you're going to get, people are going to disagree with you vehemently. I made a sort of a tongue-in-cheek comment about Benintendi with the Royals, and Royals fans were kind of mad at me about that. I get it. So guys like Andy Martino, I don't know if this is the case with him. Maybe you just get jaded after a while. I'm not going to follow him, but maybe you just get jaded. Bad vibes, breath. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think that he's somebody who's just, you get so turned off from stuff like that. I don't know. Aaron Sanchez does still exist, KD. Somebody tweeted at me that he's out there on his Instagram story throwing some 95 to 98 mile an hour heat and asking the question, who wants it? So he's trying to get a job. Let's see. What are you guys saying? I'm just going to kind of browse through the chat. Like Bob Nightingale. Yeah, what's Bob Nightingale's deal? I mean, do you think he was always this way? I can't imagine. I got to think that when he was coming up, it was different. Can you blame Hazel May for the brand? No. If she came out there with that, I mean, that meant that she has people that she trusts that said a deal was done and it didn't happen. I think that happens. Fangraph says Chase Anderson signed with 2 teams. Hey, good for him. Double the pay. I once worked with a guy in a sales job. With sales, you're supposed to be out, right? You're supposed to not be there. Every day, he would basically clock in at 8 o'clock, and he would always be gone by 9 o'clock, and he wouldn't come back till the end of the day, till 5 o'clock. We were all convinced that he had 2 jobs, that he was clocking in basically at 8 o'clock, going out on sales calls, going to work another job. We were all convinced he was doing 2 jobs. Maybe that's what Chase Anderson's going to do. He's going to start for somebody, and he's going to relieve for somebody else. Predictions for Dodgers over the next 5 years. I mean, they're going to be in it. They're going to be in the World Series, I think, at least 3 times. Do they get three wins? Potentially. But if you were to give me an over-under on how many World Series will the Dodgers go to with this roster over the next 5 years, I think 3 is probably the number. Is Yates closing for the Jays? Yeah, he'll be closing for the Jays. For sure. No doubt about that. Andy Martinez doesn't care about doing his job, just cares about having the job. I get, and some people do that. Some people get like that. Stinks. You got in life, right? We got good people, we got bad people. Sometimes bad people get into into spots where they have to interact with other people way more than they should. And maybe he's in that spot. That guy, Andrew, thank you. Have a good night, buddy. Raphael, thank you for that. If baseball is life for you guys, baseball is life for us here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're just finding the channel for the first time. A lot of new names here tonight, and I appreciate that. I love seeing new faces. And again, if you're finding me for the first time, subscribe. Lots of baseball content, lots of live content, some stuff where you don't even see me. You know, I like to do some editing stuff too. So there's some highlight kind of stuff. I don't just do straight highlights. I like to try to manipulate and change it and create a little story out of the highlight. So you see a lot of different things here. But if you like baseball, as baseball is life for you too, I think this is a good place for you. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And make sure we hit, let's get, what do we have for likes? We're at 169. Can we get to 175? Do we have 6 more? Steve, welcome in. Thank you. I'm glad you like the show. Guaranteed every Tuesday we do one. This is a surprise one. This is a pop-up one. We had some big news. I wanted to come on and talk about it. But we will be doing a, oh, the voice is starting to go. That's not a good sign. We'll be doing a Tuesday show. Tuesday, always. Tuesday, 10 o'clock East, 7 o'clock West. There's always a stream. I have 2 guests this week. Robbie Hyde is going to be on at 10:30, and Izzy Rendell is going to be on the first guest around 10:10, 10:15. She does the best player jersey swaps out there right now. So I have her on. We're talking about that. We're talking about her process, show some of her work. She's done some incredible work. It is 12 a.m. in the Central out there in Illinois, in Des Moines, in Nebraska, and everywhere. St. Louis. Jake, take care, buddy. Have a good one. Can you get Bill Lee on the show? If I can reach out to him, I will. Philip, have a good night. If I can reach out to him, I will. I don't know. I think Bill's probably – Bill was a great get for Ken Burns. I don't know if I can get Ken Burns level interviews. Do you plan on doing MLB predictions video? So here's what we're going to do. Yes. Next Tuesday, set the reminder. I'm going to be doing the American League next Tuesday with Robbie Hyde. He's going to come on. And the following Tuesday, we're going to do the National League with Eric from Hum Baby Baseball. You know, Robbie is super plugged into the American League. Eric really plugged into the National League. So we're going to do that. Any more moves for the White Sox, Jeffrey? I think you guys are done. Maybe you add a bat. You could use a DH. I think there could be an Edwin Encarnacion reunion for a 1-year deal. You could maybe go get Yasiel Puig. There's some room there for the Dodgers to do one more move for a bat. Bill's autobiography as a kid. It was a funny book. I should get that. I like those interviews. Drones, damn, it's only 10:30 for me, and I'm freezing when it's only. Man, I wish it was 10:30. I'd love to hop back 3 hours. You like Ian Anderson. William, that's a great point, the question about the Rookie of the Years. A lot of the guys we saw last year still have that rookie eligibility. So that's going to be the Rookie of the Year this year is going to be crazy. Ooh, is it cold there? It's cold here. Thank you, guys. Again, everybody that's here. We are at 174. We are 1 like away from 175. Anybody that hasn't given their like yet, can we get one more? Can we get one more? Anybody that hasn't given their like out yet, if you've still got it, can I have it? If you don't want to give it, it's cool. Rosarena is still eligible. I know Randy Rosarena could be the Rookie of the Year. And we're over 175. Thank you, guys. We're at 178. That's awesome. Get Jeff Passan here. That'd be fun. Big plans for the channel one day, guys. I'm not saying Jeff Passan's coming anytime soon, but I have big plans for this channel. I do want to get some people in here. I do reach out to folks, and behind the scenes, there are some things happening with some local guys and some other things. I want to get local media on here. I want to get players on here, and I hope that I can deliver on that in 2021. That's one of the plans this year, is that we're going to get some players in here. We're going to get some media in here. A lot of good hopes. How you guys living when it's so cold? That's Southern California right now. I mean, don't even. It's not right. It's not good. Drones has never been in negative weather. Oof. Watertown, New York has some of the worst winters because it was right on the lake. The wind was just blowing. We would get to negative like 50, and we would get snow where it would be like this. It'd be 6 inches an hour. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, crazy how Rosarena is still considered a prospect. I know you adapt. You do adapt, but it's still brutal. We're 19 away from 200. Is there a chance we get to 200? I don't even know if we can get to 200 at this point. We are 19 away from 200. I don't know if we can get there. Anybody that's hanging out in here, been here for a while, if you haven't given me the like yet, if you could give me that like, can we get to 200? I don't know if we can get to 200. We may have to get to 200 with the replays. If you've still got your like and you haven't given it, I know we're close, but we're kind of getting to the point where I have a feeling most of the viewers right now have probably been in here for a while and have hit that like already. But if you're new in here, maybe we can try to get to 200 before we shut down for the night. The GOAT CJ2K Blue Jays messed up. Tell me, what are you thinking there? What do you tell me what you mean? I'm not, trying to be adversarial or anything, but just let me know what you mean. Thank you, Ivan, for that. I appreciate that. And again, anybody that's just finding the channel for the first time tonight, make sure you subscribe. This is, I like to think, a nice baseball channel that you might enjoy seeing what I do next. So sure, do that. Thank you for that. We're just building up. I didn't start doing live streams till about 2 months ago. And all baseball season last year, all I did was the editing stuff. So you really didn't hear from me a lot. And everything, all of the subscribers have really come over the past year. I took 3 months off. There was nothing for me to talk about when coronavirus peaked back in March. So I had nothing, right? This channel was empty from, March, April, May, until baseball came back. I basically did nothing. So I've got about 12 months of really, really plugging away here. So I think we're doing pretty good, but thank you for that. This is what I'm doing now for until I'm old and can't figure out how to work a computer anymore. MLB Joey, you were there for the pack opening. Right on, man. My son made his debut with the pack opening. He loves baseball cards, so we had him come on, and the dude's got the best pack luck, I swear. He's 6 years old, and he'll open up one pack of something, and there'll be an autograph in it. And I'll open up 10 packs of the same thing, and I'll get nothing. Anyway, concerned about Scott Mitchell's tweet? Well, that's a good point. They're not going to spend big money. They told us the heavy lifting was done. I would like them to do something, though. Can we pick up a lightweight maybe and get Taijuan Walker? Maybe. I think Jake Odorizzi might be a bit much. But Taijuan Walker, can we do that? I'd love that. Let's see. Osman, the Acuna card was a little flat for me. Yeah, the Acuna card, I wish they had just gotten a different angle. Like him sliding headfirst into the base is cool, but if they could have had a different angle. We did have Brian, who takes baseball card photos. It's in the live stream from last Tuesday. He came on and he was talking about how some of the angles this year are going to be a little different because photographers were not able to get closer to the action like they usually are. So cards are going to look a little different. I think we got that with the Acuna card. 2 years, 8. I love that, Yogi, dude. I was thinking that earlier today. Thank you for bringing that up because I was thinking about that earlier. I don't know what he wants, but 2 years, 2 years, 16 total. Let's do it. Let's do it. I really like that. Ben likes Baraki to have a breakout year for the Jays. It could happen. Could happen. I'm okay that they didn't get Musgrove. Honestly, I'm okay. I don't know what they would have had to give up for him, but I'm okay. Are you going to go to spring training or is it too far? I'm just not going down there. I don't know what kind of access we're going to be able to get. I don't know what value it would bring to you guys. So I don't think I'm going to do spring training this year. Now, next year, 1,000%, we'll be down there. And hopefully we'll be talking to people. Hopefully I can go down to spring training and bring you guys some killer content from spring training in 2022. We're not going to have any access to players in 2021. If we can get into stadiums, it's going to be minimal. It's going to be, so we're not going to go. But 2022 for sure. Merriweather and Hatch's potential. I like Merriweather's potential and Hatch. I think there's some good stuff. I don't know how high, but I think there's some good stuff. Jay should try to get Price if they can. Here's the thing, the GOAT. Think about it. There's too many lefties already. There's too many lefties in the rotation. So the one team the Jays really got to get over, it's the Yankees. And the Yankees it's nothing but righties. So we would match up terribly against the Yankees if we had 4 lefty starters. That's the problem. That's why I'm not really interested in David Price. I'm okay with Paxton going away. It's just, there'd be too many lefties. I'm going to go because it's a 4-hour drive from Phoenix. Yeah. Now, how's the COVID situation going on in Phoenix? Because they were talking about not wanting to do it because of the Arizona situation there. I don't know. Yeah, we are just a few likes away. I think we're 7 or 8 likes away from 200. If you are coming in and you're holding on to your like, if you haven't hit the like yet, hit that like. Can we get to 200? We are a handful away. Dodgers going to repeat. I think you got the best chance. I mean, you're not going to be able to get a good bet on the Dodgers, right, from Vegas. You're not going to be able to get that. It's going to be tough betting on it. We are 4 likes away from 200. 4 likes away. If you want me to shut up, 4 more likes, and I'll just shut up and go to bed. I'm kidding. But we are 3 likes away. Yogi Dude, please take good care of Taiwan if you land a Mariners fan here. Mariners fan, all right on. Are you Mariners fan? Talk to me about James Paxton. Are you excited about this? I like the move for you guys because if he does pitch well, you could trade him and get something good. I like that. I like that move for you guys. Did we get it? Are we at 200? We're at 202. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the 200 likes. Thank you very much for that. I don't know how many feelings Sleeper Team will take the championship. Listen, we got to play the season, right? You can't just anoint the Dodgers the champions, right? The Padres could somehow surpass them. The Dodgers could end up in a short series or a one-game wild card situation, and they could just get jumped and be out. It happens. But you do kind of feel like the Dodgers are sort of entering that Bulls back in the 90s kind of thing where you just expect them to get back. It kind of feels like what they're doing. Liking the homecoming for Paxton. I mean, that is nice. That is nice. And again, I think you can get some good. Mile High, welcome in. Yep, you still got to play it. You still got to play it. They are going to be the favorite for sure. Thank you guys for everyone that is here. It's a late stream tonight. We're doing a West Coast stream. We're basically doing the ball cap nightcap for the West Coast today because we went on so late. Yeah, you could trade him, get something good. I don't know, man. I can really see the White Sox shock it. Well, as of this moment, I would take the White Sox to represent the American League in the World Series at this moment. I like what the White Sox have done. So White Sox and Dodgers would be my pick at this moment. But the Yankees, if Severino comes back and he's effective, that's going to be tough. They're going to be tough. The Blue Jays, I'm starting to become skeptical that they're going to make the move necessary to get into that conversation of being a World Series hopeful. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's hope the Cubs tank this year and get Kyle Hendricks and Bryant for the cheap. A lot of teams are going to be hoping. How many fans are going to be watching the Cubs? They're going to be checking out the National League Central standings this year. Everybody. Because if the Cubs are bad, that trade is coming. Let's see. Jay's prospect to watch. Manoa, Martin, IMO. Martin won't come up, but could make a first impression. I agree. No Yankees Dodgers World Series would be a nightmare. We'll see. For the historical baseball purposes, Dodgers and Yankees World Series would be kind of cool. Just need to have the right team come out on top. The Dodgers. Injuries, Yankees, yes. The Yankees are going to have trouble with the injuries. Marlins should have traded for Baez. I think the Marlins are looking at themselves as they're still a couple years away from competing, so they don't want to take on that contract right now. They don't want to have to pay somebody that much money while they're still trying to get everything together. And Jazz Chisholm could be better than Javi Baez. Jazz Chisholm I love Jazz Chisholm. So I think that, instead of put a wall up and Jazz Chisholm doesn't have a place to play anymore, just let it roll. Let's let Jazz have a chance. The rookies this year, it's going to be incredible. This year for rookies is going to be amazing. Yeah, the tanking thing, I'm with you on that. K-Law, I think they're going to try to. Do I think they're going to try to trade Price? I do think they will try to. It's funny. This chat is acting funny on me, where it's basically dumping 5 or 6 comments all at once. I want to refresh it, and it's just killing me. Let's see. Do you think the back end of the Jays rotation is solid? I think the Jays rotation is solid. I like it. I'm sorry, the bullpen. The rotation, I would like them to do something. Taijuan Walker just feels to me the right move. I could see Soto winning an MVP, totally. Yeah, here's the thing, David. So half of it's being paid by the Red Sox. So it's $16 million is paid by the Dodgers. And what if the Dodgers, to get that salary out, eat like 3 or 4 of it to get rid of it? You want Cespedes? I don't know. There's a few guys that I'm surprised don't have more traction. Cespedes, Puig. There's a few guys out there that I'm surprised are still chilling. I see Nawan. What do we got? Studying MLB payrolls, and it's crazy how owners have billions of dollars in team payrolls. Is the amount Bauer's making. Right. I'm with you on that. Yes, they totally are going to re-sign him. Totally, Gilby. 1,000%. He's not going anywhere. I did hear about the change for the ball. I don't like it. I don't like it. They are going to try to make it less bouncy, and you've got 10 teams storing a ball in a humidor, which takes the humidity out of it, which makes it fly less. I don't like it. What about Puig? Any good fit? I think there's a handful of good fits for Yasiel Puig. I think the Astros, Phillies, White Sox. I think the Braves could still be a good fit for Puig. At this point, it's probably going to be a 1-year deal. So Houston, the White Sox to DH, or just move some pieces around in the outfield. Philadelphia, Atlanta. I think those are the 4 teams that have the best shot at Yasiel Puig. They shouldn't have announced they were changing the ball. Well, they got a lot of heat last year because it was suspected. So I think they're just trying to be transparent. So I can understand that. I can totally understand that. Again, listen, everybody, thank you guys for finding this. If this is the first time, make sure you subscribe. If baseball is life for you, this is a nice place to be and stay close to. We're talking a lot of baseball here, a lot of different stuff, and some good things coming down the road. Some good guests. You see other YouTubers on here. We're going to try to get some players on here in the near future. Other media. This is a good place. I hope that you'll give me your sub if you are just finding it for the first time. Will Gavin Lux eventually end up as a full-time? I want to see more Gavin Lux. I want to see Gavin Lux. So much hype around him. He was great in the minors. His scout grades were nice. I want to see Gavin Lux get some full-time. He's probably going to have to split with Chris Taylor, though. That's my feeling. That is what I think is going to happen. But I want to see more Gavin Lux this year. Thing with Seager and Bellinger I'm worried about is that there was Scott Boras and he likes to test free agency. That's true. That's true. The Dodgers just need to throw so much money at him that it's, they don't go anywhere else. I mean, Bellinger is, he's Harper. He's Trout. He's one of the best guys. Like you don't want those guys to go. The Nats are kicking themselves for letting Harper go. The Angels weren't going to let it happen with Trout. Like he's that guy. The Indians are going to regret letting Lindor go. Like there's just some guys that you can't let go. And I think that Bellinger is that guy for the Dodgers. You gotta bring him back. Now, if Seager struggles, I don't think he will, but if he does, you can start to see a path to where they maybe move on from Seager. I don't think he's going to struggle, though. I think he's back. But just Bellinger has to always be there. Like Judge is always going to be there for the Yankees. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. will always be there for the Jays. There's just certain guys that are synonymous with the team. Acuna will always be there for the Braves. Bellinger's going to have to always be there for the Dodgers. Jay Cruz, welcome in. Mackenzie Gore comes up and has an impact for the Padres. Where? There's no room for him. He's going to come out of the bullpen, at least to start. I know. They're going to be out from underneath that Bauer deal at that point. Feel like Mackenzie Gore is beginning to. Yes, she's totally getting blocked. He's not going to be in the rotation. He's going to have to come up out of that bullpen. For sure. Anybody that's just hopping in, make sure to hit that like if you're enjoying the conversation, if you're enjoying talking Dodgers, talking Jays, talking Padres, a little bit of Braves and White Sox mixed in. Hit that like if you haven't yet. And make sure to subscribe again. Reinforce the Padres bullpen sounds good. Yeah, I mean, Gore could be that guy that kind of comes in and just is the, that lights out piece, that big arm that could dominate in the bullpen. Let's see. So thank you guys for being here again. Here's what I got to do. Who I got winning the NL East right now? The Braves. I have the Braves by this much over the Mets. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Stay close to the channel. Tuesday night, for sure, I will be back doing a live stream. 2 guests coming in. You're going to love Izzy Rendell and talking with her about doing the jersey stuff, the jersey swaps, the art that she does there. I think you're really going to enjoy that. And Robbie Hyde is going to be with me. So make sure you stay close Tuesday. No idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday. You might see me do something, might see an upload, might see something live. If something big happens, I will be live. If anything big happens with the Jays, I'll be live. Came on today because of the Turner thing and the Paxton thing. So if something big happens, I'll be live. Monday, again, it's going to be iffy, but Tuesday for sure, you will see me live on Tuesday night, 10 in the East, 7 in the West, 9 in the Central, 8 in the Mountains. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to wind it down so I can go to bed. And I look forward to seeing a lot of new names in the face tonight. So thank you, everybody that is new. I do appreciate that. Yes, something will probably happen tomorrow. So I got to have my voice. So thank you, guys. If you want to find me on Twitter to continue the conversation, you can find me at Jim Riley Live. So on the way out, if you want to hit the like, if you haven't subscribed yet, we got about 120 people still here as I'm rambling to close this thing. Subscribe if you're one of those 120. If you're still here, hit that like. Find me on Twitter. The conversation continues on Twitter. Thank you for that, Gernster. Thank you, MLB Joey. Thank you. I hate saying names because then I miss people, but thank you, everybody that is here. Josh, appreciate it. Everybody, a lot of new names. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great rest of your Saturday. For those of you, for some of you, it's Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, everybody. Have a great Sunday. I will be back to talk with you at the very latest on Tuesday. Check out some of the other stuff that we've been working on. If you're just finding me for the first time, a lot of stuff in the archives. And thank you guys for watching. Again, have a awesome rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys soon.